Find out why Newsmax is the fastest growing news channel in America. Make the switch today and join our news revolution. Get Newsmax on cable, on streaming, and download the free app today. It takes just seconds to start. Let President Trump know you stand with Newsmax. It's for real news, for real people. Make the switch today.
There's a lot happening in Washington and in your local neighborhood. Follow WTIC News Talk 1080 on the Odyssey app to keep up with the latest.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
This year, it was important for my business to start strong.
Starting weak is not recommended.
But first, I needed a lot of stuff for the office.
Sounds like a shopping spree.
I just went to Staples. They have great prices on everything, like ink, toner, printers, paper, and chairs. And now, you can get up to 30% off select HP printers.
Up to 30% off HP printers? Am I on a hidden camera show?
No.
Well then, let's go Staples.
That was easy.
Shop Staples in-store, online, or on the app. Ends 1/31. Select models only.
Hi, this is Eric Hogarth, Certified Financial Planner from Money Wisdom. 1 in 3 retirees wish they'd started saving sooner. Don't leave your future to chance. Stay informed on the latest financial issues that could impact your retirement, from taxes to rising healthcare costs. Be sure to tune into Money Wisdom Saturdays at 8:30 on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Johnson Brunetti is a marketing name for the businesses of JB Capital and JN Financial. Investment advisory services offered through JB Capital, LLC. Insurance products offered through JN Financial, LLC.
And now, a WTIC News Update.
It's 2:30, Hartford temperature 47 degrees. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. Cloudy skies, few showers will move through. We'll keep temperatures in the upper 40s to perhaps 50 today. All the forecast details from Bob Cox coming up. Iran's top judge hinting speedy trials and executions are ahead amid protests, with President Trump threatening very strong action if that is indeed the case. Man remains hospitalized after he was shot in Hartford on Tuesday. Victim is in critical condition following the shooting on Albany Avenue. There's no word on any suspects or motive as yet. Bridgeport man is under arrest in a deadly hit and run. Stratford police say Kevin O'Neill hit 2 pedestrians, one of whom died on January 9th on South Avenue. He's facing multiple motor vehicle charges. Meriden police are investigating a crash that occurred in the parking lot of a McDonald's on Main Street, where a man is accused of backing into his 62-year-old mother, also hitting a 13-year-old boy who'd been walking with friends. Both victims are currently in stable condition. Vice President Vance meeting with Denmark's leaders today. This over the U.S. desire to acquire Greenland. WTIC News Times 2:32. Here's Bob with the forecast.
Temperatures this afternoon rising into the upper 40s and low 50s. And sometimes we'll see a shower or two go by. Others will not. Sundown at 4:44 today. Tonight it's mostly cloudy. Some scattered showers around and lows about 35 to 40 degrees. You might see some wet snowflakes out in some of the northwest hills late tonight. During the day Thursday, it's going to become partly sunny. Still the chance for a rain or a snow shower. The temperature probably starts out near 40 in the morning, but it'll tend to turn colder during the day and fall through the 30s, especially in the afternoon. Some areas can reach the 20s later tomorrow, and the breeze will be increasing. Tomorrow night's partly cloudy, breezy, and quite cold. Lows in the teens, the wind chill near 0. Sunshine Friday morning mixing with some clouds in the afternoon. The high struggles up to about 30. I'm meteorologist Bob Cox in the WTIC Weather Center.
47 and cloudy in Hartford. Dow's down 175. NASDAQ down 328. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
You've been here before, standing in front of the mirror, tired of wondering where your weight loss journey went wrong. I'm Paige Lopez. I know the feeling, and that's why I started Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Our medication-free program helps you lose weight without expensive injections. No tiny portions, no constant hunger, just real, sustainable weight loss. Look and feel your best with personalized coaching and lifetime support. To kickstart your transformation, visit awaken180weightloss.com or call 844-346-1800.
Ground level storage containers, road trailers, or mobile offices. Don't get stressed, get Eagle. Just call Eagle Leasing at 1-800-GET-EAGLE or get a quote at eagleleasing.com. I'm Brandon Eagle. You see us everywhere. We're Eagle Leasing.
Facilities managers, it's time to think inside the box. Storage trailers and ground level storage containers from Eagle Leasing are the way to go. I'm Mike Eagle. Call 1-800-GET-EAGLE or visit us at eagleleasing.com. You see us everywhere. We're Eagle Leasing.
Hey Jeff, looks like your business is really booming, even in a tough time for businesses like ours.
Hey Mike, yeah, thanks to LendSeek, our business was able to take care of some outstanding bills and taxes and to purchase inventory and expand our product lines.
Wow, you know, my business needs working capital, but only from a reputable company that I can trust and count on. How does LendSeek work?
Fast and easy. Just apply at lendseek.com. Their AI lending platform gave my business access to over 100 funding programs with one simple application. And it costs nothing to apply.
At lendseek.com, you can receive business funding with no collateral, no prepayment penalties, and no restrictions on how you use the funds. Whatever your funding needs are, seek no more. Our AI lending marketplace has you covered. If you've been in business at least 1 year with annual revenue of at least $250,000, you could get the funding your business needs in as little as 24 hours. There's no obligation, so apply today at lendseek.com. That's LENDSEEK.com.
I'm here with Ken Tumalo, founder of Tumalo Financial and host of Tumalo Financial Radio, Sundays right here on WTIC News Talk 1080. Many of us spend years working and saving and putting as much money away for retirement as we can. Then, when we get closer to it, a lot of us just don't know where to start. So, Ken, what should someone do as they get closer to retirement?
And that's it. A lot of people just don't know where to start. They don't know what they don't know. So really what it is sitting down with someone, figuring out not only goals and needs, but how do the numbers go together? And are you going to be okay in retirement? So really it's that checkup. Figure out where you are before you actually retire.
What would you say the biggest fear is in retirement, and how do you help your clients get past that?
Running out of money. Someone could save $100,000 for retirement, or they could save $10 million for retirement, but they'll both come in with that one same common issue. I'm afraid to run out of money. What should I be doing?
What kind of impact can the Tumalo Financial Retirement Checkup have?
It makes people comfortable in retirement. For an example, I've had people say to me, hey, I want to buy a second house in retirement, but I'm scared to do it because I'll run out of money. When we're doing that checkup, we can prove out whether or not it's okay to buy that house so they're comfortable doing it. Since we're going over this, I want to offer help for our listeners today. For the next 5 callers, my team and I are going to sit down with you personally for a complimentary Tumalo Financial Retirement Checkup. We'll talk about your goals and put together a retirement plan that works for you. Call us at 860-854-3434 or find us online at tfcheckup.com.
At Tumalo Financial, they've got one job, and that's to help you get retirement ready. Again, the number 860-854-3434.
Investment advisory services offered through Tumalo Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor. Insurance services offered through Tumalo Financial, licensed in Connecticut.
Hi, I'm Joe with SimpleSaleUSA.com, and I buy houses cash. If you own a house and want to sell it fast at a fair price, call me at 203-896-4000. I can pay cash and close in as little as 7 days. I buy houses in any condition, any price range, and more importantly, anywhere in Connecticut. I'm a private real estate investor who buys several houses a month, and I want to buy more. I buy inherited houses, divorce houses, behind in payment houses. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that is trash and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, because I love buying junk houses. I buy vacant houses, abandoned houses, condemned houses, and even foreclosure houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at 203-896-4000. That's 203-896-4000. 203-896-4000.
Fan of WTIC? Then do us a favor. Download the free Odyssey app and favorite WTIC.
You think? Oh, there we go. We're back. It's Reese on the Radio. Roseanne on the radio here on News Talk 1080 WTIC. So in the last break, we were talking about whether or not the United States should go into Iran.
Thank you.
To assist, only to please you. to go into Iran to help those people who are asking for the USA's help. You were talking about the background and the political ideology of Islam as opposed to its religion. Now, the only reason why I'm saying this is because I keep it real, and I know people who are always going to do what they do. Did you hear what they were saying on Reese on the Radio about Islam and blah, blah, blah?
Right. There's going to be this whole Islamophobia thing. And here's
the accusation is going to come that that's what you are.
Right. I'm not Islamophobic. I'm not afraid.
Mhm.
I have educated myself about the ideology, and I've become very well aware of the transformations that have happened in multiple parts of the world with the introduction of an ideology that is designed to disrupt an existing culture.
The interesting part about that is you and I can go through mountains of evidence of this where we hear from the people who practice
Or
this.
left.
Sorry?
Or left.
Or left. Who will back up everything that you said here.
Right.
Okay? So that when we're having this conversation, and this is where I want to talk to not only the people who would complain, but I want to talk to the people who they would complain to. And this is very important that I get this out. Someone is going to come to you, and they've done it because I've been here and they did it. Certain groups or individuals will call up the office and say, did you hear what Reese was talking to? Well, some guest and blah, 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 blah. And I know the person who they're complaining to is not versed in the conversation, so they cannot make a judgment call on what was being said was accurate and whether or not it's based in fact. The only thing they hear is a complaint. Oh, they were offended. And that gets addressed first, not the evidence of said argument or statement. So I'm saying to both, those who would complain and those who would be complained to, so that you understand. One, to the complainer, have your facts. Okay? Because the person you complain to, when they come to me, I am going to make sure that they are backed up by evidence. So you're not just going to get away with the whole blanket, I'm offended stuff. So you understand, you are dealing with the real deal here, not some fake phony who wants to, I'm not a shock jock. Okay? Just so you understand. Second, I defend my wife to the hilt.
And I do everything I can not to put you in a position to get punched in the mouth.
Yeah, well, no.
Listen, you're supposed to agree
Road
with
rage notwithstanding.
You're supposed to do what I tell you.
Yeah, but no, I just want to make that clear because, again, we're talking about where we are in this sort of...
The world is in upheaval right now, right?
Yeah, in a lot of places.
Right, there is geopolitical transformation occurring all over the world today.
Indeed.
It's not just Minnesota. It is all over the world. And so what I was getting to with the whole Iran thing is these are people that have been asking to just have their lives back.
Yes.
Right? I'm 47, I'll be 48. I was born in 78. 1979 is when Iran fell under this regime.
Mm-hmm.
And the people have disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
Completely and absolutely. When I first moved to the D.C. area in Northern Virginia, my first ever roommate was from Iran. And she told me about her family having to flee in the middle of the night. Her dad was a general in the Iranian army.
We've heard these stories.
And she had her, she was a small child. They had to flee, so these are people that just want their world back. And when they see President Trump, the videos that I keep seeing that are the most inspirational are the ones who keep saying, we see what you did in Venezuela, please help us.
Yeah.
Right? And you've got all these people crying about, hands off Venezuela. Why are Americans crying about Venezuela when Venezuelan people are saying thank you?
Mm-hmm. And that's why I brought this up today as the opening monologue. It's that when you see the backdrop, right? Venezuela sort of was in a vacuum in a lot of ways. Like there was this paying attention to getting Maduro out of Venezuela while people got to ignore all of the famine, the people who were imprisoned, even the American prisoners in Venezuela. That story is almost 6, 7, 8 years old, where people were starving and had to eat their own pets in order to survive. Hold on, let me just finish this. When they had to eat their own, that story is so old to the news cycle today that people have forgotten about that. And the fact that they've forgotten that Maduro was responsible for all of those things, they could see it with the coin up to the face, where they could ignore all the rest of the stuff and just say, hands off Venezuela, and at the same time ignore the people who are celebrating their freedom, if you will.
Right.
The same thing is with Iran. They don't remember that, again, just under 10 years ago, Iran had this really, really huge uprising where there was a famous woman who was shot and killed on a live stream, and people have forgotten about that. There were people outraged in that moment, but they've forgotten about her, forgotten that people in Iran wanted their freedom, and they've wanted their freedom for a long time. Now they have the sort of another battery on their back to fight against this regime. They believe that Donald Trump is the president to do it, and they are, in essence, screaming out in the streets. And what is Iran doing as a response to that? They are killing people in the street, which then brings me back to my original question. As American citizens, can we sit idly by?
I don't think that we should. Listen, every war that the United States has won. We have won with the help of allies, with people that we had to go to and ask for help. France, anyone? During the American Revolution? You know what I mean? The Civil War. No, I think that's pretty much fought by us alone.
Yeah.
I think there was some offer of assistance from foreign entities, but it was very
limited.
Yes. World War I, World War II, Vietnam, Afghanistan. Every war that we have ever fought has been fought with allies, right? The Iranian people are asking for help.
Does it have to be a war, though?
It doesn't have to be a war. President Trump took out al-Baghdadi in what? A week, when that general was telling him it was going to take, 3 to 5 years to finish this war in Afghanistan, and Trump was like, "That's where the guy is. Go get him with your beautiful dogs, your beautiful, beautiful dogs." I can't do the voice, but that's great. So it will not take that long when you have a strong, decisive leader in office. When you have somebody strong in leadership who's willing to make decisions without hurt feelings. Oh, well, they're going to look at me. He doesn't care. He doesn't care what you think about it.
I think that's true.
That's why he can get crap done as quickly as he gets crap done. And that's what we need more of.
There's an interesting angle to look at all of this. I think the angle that people are choosing is the fact that there's going to be military involvement because it would be regime change. But the regime,
sort of.
Right. The regime change in general wouldn't be like you let the Iranian people make a decision about their own.
Their decision.
Yeah, exactly.
Their
That's right.
Crown Prince has already made the decision to come back to Iran.
Right.
There is a crown prince. He and his family. His father was the king, and the entire family was
exiled.
There we go, exiled, and they've been living in exile for nearly 50 years. Now the Iranian people are rising up. Reza Pahlavi, I think is his name. He wants to come home. He wants to lead his people. His people want him sitting on the throne. What a lot of people don't understand about Iran prior to this is that Iran was one of the most generous nations. I mean, the history on what that family has done to help other people, even during World War II, helping Jewish people and Polish people, it's phenomenal. So the new, old, former, previous, real, legitimate leadership wants to come back. The people want them back. This isn't a regime change. This is expelling.
This is a restoration of.
This is expelling a usurper and restoring what is right.
Let me get to Jim in Wellington real quick. How you doing, Jim?
Yes, sir. On your Iranian question, number one, yeah, we should do something, and I believe the Trump administration will figure out the best way to go forward.
Yeah,
that's the first thing. Number two, people have to remember that when the Shah and his father were put in place, they weren't the legitimate leaders being put in place back in the 40s and into the 50s. And at the time, when the Shah was deposed, there was quite a bit going on in Iran. Obviously, there was opposition to Khomeini and his group.
Mm-hmm.
But the Persians were in the streets with some of those people, and they wanted the Shah out. We don't have to get into that history either.
Right.
I have a feeling that Trump and the Trump administration is probably trying to figure out who are the best people that are in place in Iran right now that are going to be able to stabilize internally, like, i.e. the police force and things along those
Correct.
lines.
Right.
What part of those people are going to be able to get into the streets and keep everything under control before Trump does any, before they try to go in there and do any action?
Right, because there still could be a military coup, even if the regime is ousted.
Yes. I can tell you that. Well, I guess my next point to dovetail into it is that the Israelis have been in there since who knows how long.
Mm-hmm.
It was the Israelis that took out the echelon of the military just before Trump went in there and took out the nuclear.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to believe that the Israelis are still there, and they could take out that whole leadership right now if they needed to. So I'm talking about the President Mullah there. I think his name is Khomeini as well. So at the end of all of it, our end from the United States is, yes, we need to do something. If I know Trump, he'll probably figure out a way to get 30 million barrels of oil, which has to be considered also because of China and Russia.
Mm-hmm.
So you got a bunch of stuff going on here. The stability of Iran, there's quite a few people in Iran that would not want to see the Shah come back, or the son.
Yeah.
They may not want to see him come back. So it's a stability issue as far as I'm concerned, and maybe we're just waiting to see who we can get out of who's there now to make sure that at least the government's stabilized.
Yeah, good point. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate the call.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
You got it. Jim in Wellington, ladies and gentlemen. Can I ask you a quick question before I take a break?
Of course.
Like, how do you, is this what happens when I leave you alone at home? You do all of this research when you're just sitting around doing nothing, just watching documentaries and getting to the bottom? Because I'll be honest with you, I don't know how you have the time. Because when I'm around, all you do is take care of me.
I love history. I love studying. I mean, you gave me a topic to look into, and I've got notes, right?
Yeah.
That's what I love doing. I love facts. I love having facts. I love writing them down and committing them to memory.
Mm-hmm.
Even if nobody else knows what's going on. And this affords me the opportunity and the ability to walk into almost any conversation and be able to engage without sounding like an idiot. But this also means that I have to be able to listen and ask questions and say, yeah, I don't understand that. Would you be willing to teach me? So
just say nerd.
Your mother.
We'll take a break. We'll be back. More news, more views. Roseanne's here. And your phone calls, 860-522-WTIC, 860-522-9842. It's Reese on the Radio.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-894-7722. That's 800-894-7722. Again, 800-894-7722.
When winter weather hits, you can depend on WTIC News Talk 1080 to get you through every storm. With weather, Bob Cox and the WTIC Weather Center working around the clock to give you the latest, most accurate winter weather forecast. With traffic, Mark Christopher and the WTIC traffic team will get you around the tie-ups. With news, the WTIC news team will have all the important news updates related to every storm. So when winter weather hits, and it will because it's winter and it's Connecticut, trust WTIC News Talk 1080 for the winter information you need without the hype.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
It's Reese on the Radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
When we come back in a couple of minutes, Roseanne and I are going to talk about, and I got to go through my show notes here. When we come back after the news, we're going to talk about Dan Berry's racial profiling problem in about the 3:30 hour. So stand by for that. By the way, if you're having problems on X finding the show, it's my fault. I forgot to start the streaming at 3 o'clock. 2 o'clock, because that's when you're supposed to start it. If you don't, it won't go on there. But we're on YouTube and, of course, on ReeseOnTheRadio.com. So if you want to go there, please go there so you can listen and watch the show on both of those locations, ReeseOnTheRadio.com and on YouTube at Reese on the Radio Show. Again, at Reese on the Radio Show, so you can watch the program and you can chat along with us during the show. The Danbury problem is interesting because what this coalition is asking for is quite funny. I want to talk about that a little bit today as well. We also have a report on the Abolish ICE movement, which is very interesting. I want to talk about that in a little bit as well. Don't forget, if we haven't mentioned it yet, this Friday we will be live at Hartford Turnpike in Vernon at the Between Rounds in Vernon, where we'll be doing a live broadcast there. So come on by. We've got a half off on a dozen bagels a month for 3 months. You can pick up a coupon to pay half price for those. I think it's a $24 coupon that you can buy. It's a 1 month at half off for a dozen bagels. You can do that there as well. We've got Connecticut Food Share that's going to be there. We've got, of course, they have a companion campaign with them to buy said bagels. Also, the owner of the Trump store that's closing down this weekend will be a guest. We'll also have Greg Dillon, the author of The Thin Blue Lie, is going to be there. He'll be my guest hanging out during the show. He is going to tell us a little bit about the federal government and how, in essence, it works with local governments with this back and forth that's going on with Renee Good. So we'll have all of that and a whole bunch more. Let's see. The chat room says, but we haven't heard from Senator Chris Murphy on the latest international news. He's always running for a camera with his Monday morning quarterbacking. That's true. He hasn't said a word about this Iran thing, which I also find interesting on his part. Aaron B. says, sorry, I would bet that Trump already has a plan and has all the machinery in place to execute, just like in Venezuela. We will wake up and it will be done. You might be right. Aaron, I'm going to give you the round of applause for that one. You may very well be right about that. He said if I had to make a bet, I would bet that Trump would do that. Yeah, it would be in the middle of the night. We would wake up in the morning and go, Trump did what? Which is kind of always the case with this guy. You know, let me tell you something, Aaron. You bring up a great point in all of this before we go to the top of the hour. I don't know how many times it was 2, maybe 3 weeks ago, or maybe just before the new year. Yeah, it had to have been, like early December. There were so many news reports and so many of these pundit shows on CNN and MSNBC alike, where they were holding segments talking about the fatigue of President Trump. He's getting slow. He looks lethargic. He's not and sure enough, over the weekend, Venezuela happens. And like all of that commentary is done and over with. Not a word to be spoken.
He doesn't look senile and dementia-ridden.
Sure doesn't.
Yeah.
And I got this piece from David Brooks, who is always on PBS. He's supposed to be a conservative, but he hates Donald Trump. He's a huge never-Trumper. And he said something on a podcast, I think yesterday, which I found quite interesting. And you guys should listen to this.
The people I tend to know would never go to a MAGA rally. If you're going to cover Trump and MAGA or the Trump movement, do not go to MAGA rallies. That's not a representative sample. Most people I know who voted for Trump don't like him. They find him troubling in a zillion ways. They disagree with certain policies like the tariffs. But they basically buy his story. They buy his story that the elites have betrayed us. And one of the ways the elites have betrayed us, they would say, and I sort of agree.
Ooh, and he agrees, David Brooks does, probably because he knows it's true.
Is in the Biden years, immigration just massively exploded. And so I heard from a guy from Montana last week, and he said, talking to progressives, you guys had 40 years to police yourselves, and you didn't do it. And therefore, now it's our turn. You had your shot. And I would say they would say that about immigration. They would say that about the universities. 82% of college students think they have to lie to professors and pretend they're more progressive than they are in order to get through school.
And the next line he says it all, folks. It says it all.
And that's a form of soft authoritarianism, frankly.
That's exactly what it is. Soft authoritarianism. And that's the win. Whether you like it or not, that's how Donald Trump wins. Every way that you call the guy a dictator and a fascist, deep down, you know that's on your side. And David Brooks, again, doesn't like Trump, knows it's true. We'll take a break. When we come back, we got headlines, more with Roseanne on the radio. Dan Barry's, racial profiling problem and much, much more. It's Reese on the Radio on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC.
This is WTIC News Talk 1080 with Brian and Company in the morning, Reese on the Radio in the afternoon, and news around the clock. WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford and Odyssey Station.
3 o'clock Hartford temperature, 47 degrees. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. The WTIC Weather Center calling for cloudy skies, some showers, perhaps temperatures pretty much where they are in the upper 40s. All the forecast details coming up. High-level talks at the White House on the future of Greenland ended today with no resolution.
Denmark's Foreign Minister Lars Løkke Rasmussen said he'd like to take down the temperature, so the talks will continue.
We agreed that it makes sense to try to sit down on a high level to explore whether there is possibilities to accommodate the concerns of the president while we at the same time respect the red lines of the Kingdom of Denmark.
He said the fundamental disagreement over Greenland remains.
Correspondent Cammie McCormick. President Trump has threatened very strong action if Iranian authorities begin to hang anti-government protesters. Correspondent Charlie D'Agata reports the president has been presented with a series of options by the Department of Defense.
There are going to be after effects for any of this. So are you going to go after the infrastructure? Are you going after Iran's interior security services who are responsible for the deaths of these protesters? Is it going to be a pinpoint strike? And again, if you're going to do that, Iran is going to retaliate.
Karush Parsa, an Iranian-American who came to the U.S. 46 years ago, tells WFSB many Iranians have had it with the current regime and are risking their lives for change.
The regime has gone overboard, and a lot of people are very upset.
New Haven police say violent crime in 2025 was down 40% from the year prior, and gun violence is at its lowest level in a decade. Acting Police Chief David Zanelli cited some reasons for the progress.
We feel that the community is talking to us more and providing vital information when needed. We have expanded our technological capabilities by adding more cameras, license plate readers, shot spotter expansion, drones, Star Chase, and the mayor has been great by supporting all of these programs for us.
Zanelli and Mayor Justin Elicker say there's still work to do. There were 16 homicides in the city last year, up from 15 in 2024. Zanelli just stepped into the chief's role. Former Chief Carl Jacobson is being investigated by state police accused of stealing city funds. Lawmakers and advocates gathered at the state capitol today to push use of Connecticut's Emergency State Response Reserve. That's the $500 million fund Governor Lamont set aside to help pay for services reduced or cut by the federal government during the height of last fall's partial shutdown. With another shutdown possibly looming, those on hand suggest using that fund to offset the reductions. State Senator Kathy Austin, the co-chair of the Appropriations Committee, says Connecticut should reestablish its own SNAP food program.
We have people who have applied for hundreds of jobs who are considered to be able-bodied and can't get a job. Can't get a job because some of them are autistic and the affect is not pleasing to the employer.
The reserve must be used by the start of the legislative session next month. Otherwise, it reverts back to the rainy day fund. Saks Global has filed for bankruptcy, preparing to reposition itself after obtaining about $1.75 billion in financing commitments. The private company that owns retailers Saks Fifth Avenue and Neiman Marcus says in a release that it had filed for Chapter 11 in the Southern District of Texas. Reporter Aziza Schuler.
This is said to be one of the biggest retail shakeups since the pandemic and another sign that the future of luxury department stores is uncertain. Saks Global, which also owns Bergdorf Goodman and Neiman Marcus, announcing Wednesday it filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy and secured about $1.75 billion in financing to keep operating while it restructures.
WTIC News Time, 3:04. We've got some leftover road work in Farmington on 84 West between exits 38 and 37. They'll be out there till about 4 in the left lane. Down in Meriden, 691 West between 5 and 7. Right lane is blocked there for repairs. Back up in Farmington, 84 West between 39A and the 9 South ramp. That's right shoulder work for about another half an hour or so. Still over in Meriden, 91 South between 19 and 17. Left lane repair work continues, as does road work in Windsor on southbound 91 between exits 36 and 33. Crews expected to be in the right lane there until about 3:30. Here's the WTIC Weather Center forecast.
The clouds and, of course, the rain and drizzle still sticking around for us tonight. A low of 38 degrees. Tomorrow, we're going to be cloudy, breezy, plus the chance of a rain or snow shower early in the morning, then a snow shower in the afternoon. High of 43 degrees. We're dragging in that cold air into tomorrow night, so it's no surprise that tomorrow night is mostly cloudy, breezy, and colder, a low of 19. Friday will keep us breezy, partly sunny, and still chilly with a high of 32. The weekend, we are watching for a storm system to skirt by the coastline, but for right now, the weekend starts off with intervals of clouds and sunshine and a bit of snow or rain showers at times, a high of 39 degrees. We'll watch for some activity Saturday night into Sunday, but then Sunday closes out the weekend, cloudy with a high of 36. Monday, we'll start off the work week mostly sunny with a high of 35. This is meteorologist Melissa Constanzer in the WTIC Weather Center.
Dow's down 145 points, Nasdaq's down 298, and the S&P's been trending down as well, 49 points. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Since we have lawyers in all 50 states, I see and hear lots of lawyer ads. It seems that most are bragging on what they got their clients. But be careful. If you heard that someone sold their car for $500,000, you would be impressed. But if you later learned that it was a rare $10 million Ferrari, would you say that person got screwed? And that's before you even know if it's true. Who is fact-checking? And how much went to medical bills and lawyers' fees? If you want to get an idea what your case may be really worth, visit forthepeople.com and go to Settlements and Verdicts. You will see what a law firm like ours is capable of. And fact-check for yourself. All that glitters is not gold. We became America's largest injury firm for a reason. We won big, a lot. At Morgan & Morgan, we represent consumers. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com. Injured? Dial pound law.
Nicholas Russo, 157 Church Street, New Haven, 06510.
Newsmax, you like Newsmax. I like it too. Newsmax has been terrific.
President Trump is right. Millions like you are tuning into Newsmax. You're watching Newsmax on cable. You're going to our streaming channel, Newsmax 2. And you're downloading our free Newsmax app on your smartphones and TVs. Reuters Institute says we're now one of the top news brands in the nation. Every night, watch great shows with Rob Schmidt, Carl Higbie, Rob Finnerty, and more as they expose the big media lies, the Washington swamp, and they're never afraid to talk about faith, freedom, and the values that made us great. Find out why Newsmax is the fastest growing news channel in America. Make the switch today and join our news revolution. Get Newsmax on cable, on streaming, and download the free app today. It takes just seconds to start. Let President Trump know you stand with Newsmax. It's for real news, for real people. Make the switch today.
Reese on the radio, making sense of the news. Yeah, even when it makes no sense at all. Now on WTIC, News Talk 1080.
Of course, we are back. It is just after 3 o'clock. It is time for headlines. Researchers at Yale University in Connecticut have identified specific proteins that facilitate the spread of Parkinson's pathology in the brain. This discovery, published in a leading journal, offers new insights on how the disease progresses and could lead to targeted therapies to halt its advancement. The study involved advancing imaging and molecular analysis. The findings are seen in a significant step forward in neurodegenerative search. I had to do that 3 times before I got it right. Potentially benefiting millions worldwide. Local experiments are optimistic about clinical applications, with funding from state and federal sources supporting ongoing work. This breakthrough underscores Connecticut's role in medical innovations. Congratulations to Yale. There's also a report that says that a significant member of the faculty at Yale University only donate to Democrats. And the headline reads, "And water is wet." It's what it read. Which, again, no kidding. 3 Connecticut school districts, Hartford, New Haven, and Waterbury, we'll talk about this later, by the way, have lost millions of dollars in federal grants intended for community school programs. The Trump administration cited conflict at-risk students. The cuts, totaling around $4 million, were part of a broader review of grants awarded under previous administrations. Community leaders have expressed outrage, arguing that these programs are essential for providing wraparound services like health care and family support in underserved areas. State officials are exploring options to mitigate the impact, but the sudden loss has raised concerns about long-term effects of educational equity in Connecticut. By the way, this particular thing, Roseanne, which makes this story so interesting, I went and looked up what the budget went to. The $4 million that those 3 towns are going to miss. And it turns out that a lot of it was going to, wait for it, therapy. Yeah.
For
children.
Like autism therapies?
No. They did not specify.
Like I'm really sad therapy?
Yeah, I would imagine so. And they're saying, I'm saying, who are these people this stuff designed for? And it's always designed for minority groups. But in this case, this is $4 million to NGOs to fund illegals.
What's going on in these kids' homes?
I don't know, but I didn't know that public schools even funded therapy. I just didn't.
I mean, we had a school counselor, but we
right.
were like...
Did you ever see the guidance counselor when you were a kid?
I did, but that was prior to going into foster care.
Yeah,
so.
You went there for abuse,
right.
like a lot of us.
Right.
I remember we had a senior advisor, but my senior advisor was Mr. Gershon, and he was my social studies teacher, so I saw him all the time.
Right.
So I can't remember a time where I went to go see a guidance counselor. No, I can't. Not unless I was dealing with DCF. What does a guidance
counselor do anyway?
I don't know. It's supposed to be
guide,
to counsel you into what your best career is going to be, which was always something like, you are going to make a great cashier. You're going to be fantastic in retail.
Do this for me. That's right, French fries.
Last June, this is a very important story because we had Linda Sinkowitz on the program earlier in the week, Monday, in fact. This is a great story. Last June, Tom Fenton, who's the president of Judicial Watch, announced that his organization was suing Oregon to remove names of inactive voters from the state's voter rolls. Here's what Tom said. He said, "Hi, everyone. Huge news. Judicial Watch lawsuits led to the cleanup of 4 million dirty names from the voting rolls in just the last 2 years or so. But there's more heavy lifting to be done for cleaner elections. That's why Judicial Watch just sued the state of Oregon to force it to finally clean up its voter rolls, which are a mess. Federal law requires states to take reasonable steps to clean up their voter rolls, and Oregon hasn't been doing that. In fact, our lawsuit just filed for one with the Constitution Party of Oregon and Oregon voters details how 29 of Oregon's 36 counties removed few to no registrations as required by federal election law. Oregon and 35 of its counties had overall registration rates exceeding 100%. Frankly, Oregon has the highest known inactive registration rate of any state in the nation. Dirty voting rolls can mean dirty elections, of course. Oregon has said some of the worst voting rolls in America needs to be cleaned up and as soon as possible. In the meantime, Judicial Watch has lawsuits to clean up the voter rolls in California and Illinois. Simply put, millions of ineligible names need to be removed from the voting rolls under federal law, and Judicial Watch has been and is and will be in federal court making it happen. On Monday, Tom Fitton announced that the Oregon Secretary of State announced the removal of, check this, 800,000 dirty names from the state voter rolls.
Wow.
800,000. That's why you cannot look at these stories, folks, about the voter rolls. All of you say it here in the state. It's like, you know the voting is dirty here. You all know it. But action can be and must be taken. You can't leave it to everybody else. You've got to demand it. Don't just sit idly by. Now for the stupidest thing I heard today.
Yes, you do. Stupid as can be. This could very well be the stupidest person on the face of the earth.
Okay, Roseanne, you're going to have to watch me on this one. You're going to have to pay very, very close attention to me. A 2022 study out of Griffin University in Australia found that nose picking can usher chlamydia pneumoniae bacteria that can cause respiratory tract infections into the olfactory nerve in the nose of mice. The bacteria can then travel to the brain. As a result, brain cells deposit amyloid. Thank you. Amyloid beta protein. I knew I was going to need you here for this one. These fragments cling together to form sticky plaques that disrupt cell communication and can cause brain cell death, leading to memory loss and dementia. Where's the first to show that chlamydia pneumoniae? You gotta have to read this darn thing. I can't read these clinical words. You were a medic.
Oh, chlamydia pneumoniae.
Okay, so pneumoniae. And the rest of the story reads? Second paragraph.
Okay. We are the first to show that chlamydia pneumoniae can go directly up the nose and into the brain, where it can set off pathologies that look like Alzheimer's disease. Neuroscientist James St. John said when the research was published.
Told you it's not easy, is it?
Scientific report.
So they're saying that picking your nose can lead to dementia.
There is a link in in essence, there's
a link to picking your nose.
Right.
Something we've done. It's saying 90% of Americans pick their nose.
My nose itches. Thanks.
90% of Americans pick their nose.
Okay.
So are you saying that we are contributing to our own dementia, if not Alzheimer's?
This is why it's important to wash your hands.
I get that. I know you make me wash my hands after everything.
I do.
It's insanity.
Especially if some of the things that you do and touch and then you want to touch my person. Yeah, you're going to have to wash those grubby little paws of yours.
Jason, you know what? Let me tell you something. This show has created the best sleuth-type people in the world. Jason just asked this very significant question. How did they get the mice to pick their noses?
You know what?
God bless you, Jason. God bless you.
They're smart little mice.
But no, come on. You hear a story like that, and you cannot miss the lead. How do you get the mice to pick their noses?
That is what we like to call critical thinking.
Yes, exactly. Right out the box.
Yeah.
Right out the box. So, okay. So this that's why I said this is the craziest thing I've ever heard. Picking your nose. Why don't they just say what they want to say? We don't want people picking their nose anymore. Stop doing it.
Well, because if you want to be, I mean, picking your nose is essential, right? There is debris inside of your nostrils that cannot be removed
by just blowing.
And they're not going to expel themselves naturally. So digital intervention is often required.
Yes. Digital intervention.
Yes. I learned this really cool phrase in the Army. It's called digital epistaxis.
Okay.
That just means nose picking related nose bleeding.
Oh.
Exactly. So digital
Okay.
Great. Now I forgot the word. Anyway, I think what this post is really trying to say is wash your hands.
Right.
I don't think this is about picking your nose. Picking your nose is essential. Like, you have to.
Yeah,
pick
there's
your
no
nose.
way. Yeah, you have to do it.
Sometimes you just get an itch in there, and the only way to get it is you got to get in there.
Do you
right?
think, are we beyond the days of getting the booger snatcher that we used to use on the babies?
Oh, the bulb?
Yes, it has a little bulb, then you put it, the babies hate it.
Okay.
The babies can't stand it. I remember we used to do it to Caleb when he was younger. Oh, he used to fidget. Oh, it was the worst.
Well, babies' nostrils are so small.
Of course.
You can't get anything in there except maybe a Q-tip, but you don't want to stick a Q-tip up there because God only knows.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So, no, you don't need a bulb in your nose.
I call it the boogie snatcher.
Ugh, that's gross. I can still hear the...
They do?
Ugh.
There's a nose picker? There's an actual... Yeah, well, I don't know where this is. You can get it as like a CVS or something? Oh, I got to know where. Now I have to know where.
I will Google it for you.
Yeah, exactly. But the booger snatcher sounds like a fun thing for an adult. You put the little thing in there, you squeeze it, and then you put it up, and it, little suction comes right out. Come on. What did you called it a bulb when you used it when a kid, or you didn't call it a boogie snatcher?
It was a bulb.
We called it the boogie snatcher in the house. Give me the boogie snatcher. The boogie snatcher.
Oh.
It's a great name.
Yeah, sure. I just, I got nothing.
Melody says, Roseanne, you are so right. She tells her husband all the time to wash his hands.
Because men are friggin' disgusting. The things you guys do and touch.
Oh, don't try to stand outside of the rest of this, Roland. Roland's like, not all of us. Yeah, right. Look, I understand. We're men. We're not always thinking about, we're not pristine people.
Nah, bro. I wash my hands.
Okay, I
all
get
the
it.
time.
I know.
It's not about being pristine. It's about you touch stuff, you adjust, and you're scratching, and then you're like, come here, baby, let me touch. And now I got that on my face. What's wrong with you? I thought you loved me.
I do.
Yeah.
I want to share myself with you.
You got to accept the good with the bad, Roseanne.
I don't know about all of that.
I don't know. Well, I think you're right. I think that's what they're trying to say. I would just say this is why you should wash your hands because of Alzheimer's and dementia. I don't think it's weird because there's one thing that does not track and doesn't sell to the American public.
Don't pick your nose.
No, no. Alzheimer's and dementia. Like people, they're like the amount or the level of attention that it gets is often limited to insults or concern about individuals, right?
Yeah, nobody cares until it's happening to them.
That's true. It is a personal issue.
And until it actually happens to me, it's not going to happen to me.
When we found out, what was it? There was like recent research that said that they had made there was some groundbreaking evidence that they may have been able to find a cure to Alzheimer's, right? They were really getting down that road. And it was a blip in the news. And I thought that was one of the most important medical breakthroughs that we could have outside of like diabetes cure. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it was just a blip on the radar.
Because you can't go around curing diseases. The pharmaceutical companies and hospitals are going to go broke.
Yeah, okay, that's all fine and good, but the public should be interested in that. I thought that it was an epidemic of huge proportions.
I'm sorry, I just had a complete flash in my brain of the people trying to watch these things.
Watch what things?
These news, like, first of all, you've got to get people willing to sit down and watch the news, right? And people right now are too busy watching TikToks and you know, women fist fighting at a awful waffle. You know, you got kids running around doing weird dances and making strange noises. You got dudes wearing dresses. I mean, they don't care about stupid things like Alzheimer's.
I don't know, man. It scares the hell out of me.
Trust me, I know. Do you know what the two leading thought processes are behind Alzheimer's?
What?
It is type 3 diabetes. That is a glucose, insulin intolerance in the brain, or a dysfunction in the brain's ability to process glucose.
Okay.
And the brain is now, I think, something like 20 to 30% microplastic.
Oh, right,
And
because of
so-
all our microplastics that we consume over the years.
Right, and as we know, cerebrospinal fluid only regenerates about every 12 months.
Okay.
Right, every other cell in your body, 7 to 30 days is the average, depending on what type of cell it is. But the cerebrospinal fluid is up to a year. So that fluid doesn't move nearly as rapidly, which also leads to the whole diabetes 3.
If I didn't say this before, I apologize. You're a nerd.
Yeah, mother.
Now, do you know why because we can keep this really, really basic and on me.
Right.
The whole thing about Alzheimer's to me is that so I've witnessed somebody who had passed away, you know, having dementia and Alzheimer's. My ex-wife's father-in-law.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell everybody this is a horrible story, but I tell it nonetheless because I didn't mean it to be mean, but it was back in 2015. No, 2016. I apologize. He died that year. And it was, he was in a nursing home, and it was rare that we could ever get out to go visit him. We had to go all the way to Manassas. And we would go there to go visit him sometimes. And my ex-wife couldn't get there all the time, but I worked in the Manassas area. That was part of my route when I worked at U-Haul. So since they couldn't, I would go there and visit him. So sometimes I get there and visit him, and he would kind of remember who I was, just slightly. I was only in his life for a couple of years, so sometimes I walk in and he'd be like, "Hey, how you doing?" I knew he couldn't remember my name. But he would talk. We'd sit in the day area to watch television. It was always, the game show network. And I remember just out of nowhere, I said to myself, because he's from Queens. His name was Jeff. And he's from Queens. And he knew and grew up with Trump. They were all a part of that neighborhood.
Okay.
Yeah, but by Hillcrest.
Nice.
So they knew all the family. And I say to Jeff, we're sitting in there in 2016, and I don't know why, but it was like one of those stupid little experiments I had to ask. And I go, "Hey, Jeff." And he goes, "Yeah." So he remembered his name. So I was like, okay, gotta go with the second one. I go, Trump's running for president. And in my head, I'm saying to myself, man, if he remembers Trump, would that, in my head, be kind of a breakthrough? That the aura, the relevance of Trump, with a guy with dementia and Alzheimer's, that he would at least remember Trump.
Right.
He remembered a cat from 1984. How could he not remember Trump? And I'll never forget, I was so let down. Jeff looks at me and goes, "Who's that guy?" I went, "Damn." I was so let down. I was like, damn it. Because I thought totally Trump would completely supersede any dementia that he had. And he didn't, and it let me down a little bit. And I was just like, And it took me years to tell that story.
I'm sorry.
It just broke my heart.
It took an hour to tell it just now, so. No. I'm kidding. Sorry.
Did I call you a nerd yet? Yeah, nerd.
Did I say your mother yet? 'Cause I meant to.
Anyway, we got to take a break. When we come back, Danbury claims that they have a racial profiling problem. Roseanne crunched the numbers. It turns out
the math ain't math.
The math ain't math, and it turns out that Danbury may very well just want special treatment for illegals. We'll break all that down when we get back. Plus your phone calls at 860-522-WTIC, 860-522-9842.
Do you have a dark curiosity? Heart Starts Pounding, Horrors, Hauntings, and Mysteries is a weekly podcast hosted by me, Kaylin Moore. Each week, I'll take you on a dark journey through terrifying true urban legends, bizarre true crime cases, chilling tales of backwoods horror, and more. So if you're looking to join a passionate community of the darkly curious, check out Heart Starts Pounding on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts. And remember, stay curious.
So the body knows that it needs to heal itself, but it doesn't know how to concentrate it and target it into just one area. So that's where we come in.
By we, Dr. Ashley Caravelli means the nation's leader in regenerative medicine, QC Kinetics.
We put in those treatments, then it sends out like little signalers to your body. We're able to make the body focus on the areas that need the most healing.
QC Kinetics has gathered brilliant medical minds like Dr. Caravelli and Dr. Mitchell Shinecup, a pioneer in the field of regenerative medicine, to lead the way in these innovative pain treatments.
So at QC Kinetics, we have a whole team working nationwide with cutting-edge research to reach our patients and treat them and know that surgery is no longer their only option.
The consultation is free. Find out if you're a candidate. Call QC Kinetics today.
Call QC Kinetics, 860-440-PAIN. That's 860-440-PAIN. 860-440-PAIN.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
And now, a WTIC news update.
It's 3:30. Good afternoon. I'm John Silva. WTIC 1080 News. We'll check the forecast coming up. A Verizon outage is impacting millions of customers. Company says it is aware voice and data service for customers have been impacted, and it apologizes for any inconvenience. Here, the State Department of Emergency Services and Public Protection says it is monitoring the situation. It says those lacking cell coverage can make calls and text over Wi-Fi, and emergency calls can be made using the SOS feature. Crime down 40% in the city of New Haven last year. That according to numbers released this afternoon by the acting police chief. David Zanelli says gun violence at its lowest ebb in a decade. The city did log 16 homicides, one more than the year prior. 11-year-old girl whose remains were found in a container at an abandoned home in New Britain had amphetamines in her system. That from an autopsy report from the medical examiner on Jacqueline Torres Garcia. The ME says Mimi weighed only 27 pounds at the time of death. Bridgeport man facing charges after Stratford police say he was involved in a fatal hit-and-run crash. Kevin O'Neill charged. Police say it was January 9th, in which O'Neill hit two pedestrians on South Avenue and fled the scene. One of the pedestrians died. The other remains hospitalized. State Department says it'll suspend the processing of immigrant visas for citizens of 75 countries whose nationals are deemed likely to require public assistance while living in the U.S. The department says it had instructed consular officers to halt immigration visa applications from the countries affected in accordance with a broader order issued in November. Venezuela's acting president, Delcy Rodriguez, vows to continue releasing prisoners detained under former President Nicolas Maduro. She made the remarks during her first press conference since Maduro was ousted by the U.S. earlier this month. WTIC News Time 3:32. Here's the forecast.
Cloudy day with occasional rain and drizzle. That continues into tonight for us. There'll be a low of 38 degrees tonight. Tomorrow, we're cloudy and breezy with a snow or rain shower early in the morning, then a snow shower in the afternoon. A high of 43 degrees. Tomorrow night, mostly cloudy, breezy, and colder with a low of 19. Friday, partly sunny, breezy, and colder with a high of 32. This is meteorologist Melissa Constanzer in the WTIC Weather Center.
Dow's down 79 points. NASDAQ's off 261. S&P is down 42. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Winning doesn't start on game day. It starts with preparation, trust, and the right team. Just ask UConn's Braylon Mullins.
I trust the team at BPS Lawyers, just like I trust my teammates on game day.
At BPS Lawyers, we prepare like champions, fighting for you in personal injury, family law, and more.
I'm Nick Payne-Deris. At BPS Lawyers, we're one full-service firm. All your legal needs, always.
BPS Lawyers, your lawyers for life.
Start the new year off on a healthier note by taking active liver supplements from New Nordic every day. Available online at Amazon or newnordicusa.com or at your local CVS, ShopRite, Meijer Grocery, or Wegmans.
Never liked braces? Invisalign is an alternative that may be right for you. It's removable, more comfortable, and reduces the risk of developing cavities and gum disease. Get your dream smile discreetly and easily. Call Columbia Dental at 860-645-0111.
Hi, this is Eric Hogarth, Certified Financial Planner from Money Wisdom. There are over 500 ways you can take Social Security. It's a little complicated. So how confident are you that you'll get the most out of your benefits? Explore your filing options by calling 1-800-208-SAFE to get your free Social Security Simplified Guide. That's 800-208-7233 to get your free guide.
Johnson Brunetti is a marketing name for the businesses of JB Capital and JN Financial. Investment advisory services offered through JB Capital, LLC. Insurance products offered through JN Financial, LLC.
Hi, I'm Joe with SimpleSaleUSA.com, and I buy houses cash. If you own a house and want to sell it fast at a fair price, call me at 203-896-4000. I can pay cash and close in as little as 7 days. I buy houses in any condition, any price range, and more importantly, anywhere in Connecticut. I'm a private real estate investor who buys several houses a month, and I want to buy more. I buy inherited houses, divorce houses, behind in payment houses. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that is trash and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, because I love buying junk houses. I buy vacant houses, abandoned houses, condemned houses, and even foreclosure houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at 203-896-4000. That's 203-896-4000. 203-896-4000.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Tech, sponsored by Wesley Financial.
Samsung is doubling down on Google's artificial intelligence in its smartphones and tablets. The South Korean company tells Reuters that it's planning to double the number of its mobile devices powered by Google's Gemini AI in 2026 to about 800 million, from the 400 million it made in 2025. Search is the most used AI feature on Samsung smartphones, followed by AI editing. I'm Jason Brooks.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-959-3388. That's 800-959-3388.
Dan owed an unbelievable amount of money to the IRS.
I got behind on my taxes. It's a horrible feeling.
He was in denial.
And when I got those letters from the IRS, you wanted to act like they didn't exist.
Finally, Dan turned to Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima got me a settlement with the IRS. These people are really people-friendly. It was every bit of a new lease on life for me.
The fast action and the great results made Dan's head spin.
I felt like I was in a dream, but it's real, and I have paperwork to prove it. They got the job done, and life is good.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation.
If you're worried about what's going to happen with the IRS, stop worrying. Make the call now.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt?
Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10, $20, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-207-4545. That's 800-207-4545. Once again, that's 800-207-4545.
Listen to WTIC News Talk 1080 on the free Odyssey app. Download and like WTIC today for alerts on special programming.
We're back, Reese on the Radio live right here on News Talk 1080 WTIC. Let's get to the phones real quick before we talk about this Danbury thing. Leroy, I tried to contact some people about being about a mechanic. I got no luck, but how are you doing otherwise?
I'm good. Hey, man, I stayed up all night last night because of your show.
Really? Why?
Yes. Because you let that bum disrespect all black women yesterday at the end of the show, talking about crazy black women, this and that. He should respect his great-great-grandmother, because all humans came out of black people. You tell him that.
Wait, hold on. You said that he disrespected all black women, and your response to that is that all black women are good? So your counter to that is, and again, he makes a ridiculous statement that says all black women are this, and then your counter to that is all black women are the other. Isn't the truth somewhere? Wait.
I'm not saying they all are the other, but they're not like he's saying it.
Oh, so what? It doesn't. But that's no. That's no big deal. You almost seem as though you're giving credence to Mike as if because Mike said it and all of a sudden it's based in fact. As I said to Mike, that's not true. I even stopped him and I said, that's nonsense.
I thought I heard you agreeing with him.
No, get out of here. Come on, dude.
I stayed on the phone until the show went off, and you never called. You never answered.
No, because I saw the last calls on there. But the truth be told, Mike says some crazy things all the time. But I even stopped. I said to him, that's not all true. What do you got, Roseanne?
All right. And one more thing, if I could say it.
Yeah, of course. Go ahead.
All of the founding fathers were Masons. You know what a Mason is?
Yes, I do.
It's an undercover Muslim.
Is it undercover Muslim?
No, it's not.
Yes.
That is not.
What do you think it is? They talk about Allah, and I've read the book.
Actually, they've talked about all of the. They actually talk about the Great Spirit. They talk about a higher power. There's no. They don't proclaim to have
Allah is mentioned, ma'am.
No, she's not denying.
Jesus,
she's not denying that.
Buddha. I mean, they're all mentioned. If you've ever. I know that you've read the book, but I was actually married to a Mason, went to a lot of Masonic events. I did a lot with the Eastern Stars as well. The requirement to be a Mason is that you have a belief in a higher power, a power greater than yourself. They take people from all religions. So if you're going to make an assertion, it's essential that you understand factually what it is you're talking about. They do mention Allah because there is an acceptance of Muslim people.
Well, wait a minute. She's giving you.
A Mason can only get 33 and a third degrees.
That's not true.
That's the book that he reading out of, the Quran.
But Leroy, hold on. Leroy, are you a Mason?
No, sir.
Okay. Now, wait a minute. In this debate, and she's trying to have this debate with you, is saying that, and I know her ex-husband. Okay, he is a Mason, and we've had this discussion, and a Shriner, that's right. So she's very aware of this because she has gone to these events. So and in fact, almost, what did you want to be, or you almost became
I really wanted to become an Eastern Star, but at the time, I was very anti-Christian.
Yeah.
And he told me that it's essential that in order to become a member of the Order of the Eastern Star, and a member in good standing, you have to have a faith in a power that's greater than yourself.
Right.
That is the very first step in becoming eligible to become an Eastern Star as a woman.
Okay. So she obviously she knows what she's talking about. She's actually been involved with that. So it's not an argument about whether or not Mike said that all black women are this. So what? Mike, because Mike said it now. It's a fact.
Mike?
Yeah, it was White Mike.
It's
nobody takes White Mike seriously when he starts talking that racial nonsense. Nobody does that.
We don't take White Mike seriously. I really don't. If you ever listen to the show, you'll hear me get into it with Mike more than anybody else. Now, the other thing that I wanted to point here is that not all humans on Earth came from Africa. That is actually a it's a misnomer.
I said the beginning of civilization.
I'd like you to understand that only there is very, very weak evidence to show that Africans,
Leroy, give me a second. Leroy, give her a second.
Share any actual DNA with Native Americans. There is a belief that they came from a certain place. However, DNA studies are showing that different native groups throughout Central and South America, even parts of North America, do not share DNA with African or Sub-Saharan people. It would behoove you to do some research on that as well.
Okay.
I have studied.
Okay, there's a possibility. Leroy, is there a strong... Leroy.
I don't listen to people I read. I don't listen to people I read.
If God, can I say one thing?
Go ahead.
If God didn't make but one man, and everybody know that the black man has been here ever since there was an earth.
Okay, I'm not...
That's the current belief system of certain people, but if you actually broaden your history or you broaden your knowledge and don't only focus on Africa-centric history and actually start listening to archaeologists and anthropologists.
I do listen to them, ma'am.
Okay, Leroy, this is an opportunity because I can't go through this all day, but get an opportunity to do that, and you can call back, and I promise I will let you have it out with Roseanne.
I have done it.
Well, you know everything. I apologize for arguing with you, and good grief, my apologies.
All right, man. Take it easy.
Have a wonderful night.
Now, why do you have to go there?
What? I apologized. I apologize. What else do you want from me?
You are absolutely.
He knows everything. How ridiculous of me to argue with a black man about his knowledge of history. It's ridiculous.
Steve is in Andover. Hello, Steve.
Hey, good afternoon. Wow, that's going to be a tough one to follow there.
It can be. What do you got?
So, I don't know, like a week ago, it's funny the way you started out the program talking about the different types of listeners that you have. And you've got your, 4-hour a day, 5-day-a-week people.
Yes.
And then you got people like me who, because of our crazy lives and schedules and work and all this kind of stuff, like I'm an occasional listener only because that's how my life falls, not by choice. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
So like a week ago, there was a conversation I tried to jump in on, but again, because of my life, I could only stay on hold about half an hour, and then I had to jump off. But you were talking about something about with Obama and his presidency, and I was going to bring up that one of the things that Obama did that really we're starting to see the effects of today was when he made that, to me, Obama's two most important comments that he made were, number one, when he said he was going to fundamentally change America.
Correct.
At the beginning of his term. Mm-hmm. And the second thing that I think lots of people completely overlook was when he said the most wonderful sound in the world is the sound of the Muslim call to prayer.
That's an actual quote from an article that he did with, it's not David Ignatius, but I do remember who it is. Oh, it was Christofi. Christofi of the New York Times, who wrote an article about Barack Obama, and in the article he had talked about how sharp the creases in Barack Obama's suit pants was. But you're right, but Barack Obama says in that interview that the most beautiful sound to hear is the Muslim call to prayer.
And like I said, that coupled with his previous statement of fundamentally changing America, I think starts to lay some of the groundwork for what we're seeing today.
That is so spot on. If you were Sherlock Holmes, you couldn't be more closer to the target, my friend. It is that is a dissertation in making a connection in such, and it's funny because some people will say, "Oh, that's just coincidence," but how can it not be? How can it not be? Here was also the man who said in his book that when the chips fall down and the political winds shift, I choose the religion of my father.
Right, exactly. Yes. And I'm not going to get into all the nonsense about birth certificates and all that crap. I don't give a crap about that. At this point, that's irrelevant. What's irrelevant is the things that he did and the things that he said. And I think, like I said, we're starting to see some of that come to fruition now. And you can't tell me that his sort of hands throughout the Biden administration in orchestrating or marionetting some of the things that happened in that administration were, even though he deported, 3.5 to 4 million people, I think he realized that for him, the follow-on to those statements would have been much easier had, him behind the scenes marionetting Biden and allowing 15 to 20 million people into the country, knowing full well that there was going to be a ton of those Muslim refugees that would filter their way in, along with the 30 to 60,000 military-aged Chinese males that came in. Where are those people?
I'm not going to lie to you. One of the shocking things that Bill Melugin found out, I'll never forget when the reporting started to shift into that direction, was that this guy said at the southern border for so long, the demographics of people he was covering started to change. Then it was Haitians at the border, which of course prompted the whipping scandal that never was. And then he was finding Asian, military-aged men coming to the border. And then the reporting started going to finding prayer cloths at the border. And then that was, you're right, the demographic shifts were there. You know what? I'll go one step further with you on this, Steve, since you bring it up. Let's not forget probably the most egregious part of Barack Obama's campaign to, as you would put it, sort of introduce Islam to the American West, was when he went on the famed apology tour.
Oh, God, yes. Yes.
So,
absolutely.
And many people rejected that because remember, that apology tour, as they framed it, happened in 2009, just 8 years after September 11th.
And cheered in the streets while thousands of Americans died.
Yeah, so that was the reason why people found it so egregious that he did it.
Well, hang on, I'm going to disagree with you there. I don't think people pushed that away and poo-pooed it. I think there was a significant portion of the American public who voted for him, who are the same clowns that are running around protesting now, who supported that statement.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, I'm not. No. My apologies. I totally agree with you there. You're 100% right on that. Okay. I'm just saying that the group of people who were angry about it immediately moved on from it afterwards. But I think it lends to your theory of how we got here step by step. You know what I mean?
Oh, yes. This was incremental. This is boiling the frog.
Yeah. Boiling the frog. I like that.
Yeah, this is incrementalism at its worst.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Indeed. Thank you. So I got to take a break, but thank you for calling. I'm sorry that you had to wait a week till you can address it, but thank you nonetheless.
All right, man. See you.
You got it. Let's take a break. We'll come back. More news, more views. We'll see if we can get a few more these phone calls in here before we get to the top of the hour. Stand by. It's Reese on the Radio on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC.
Because we have lawyers in all 50 states, I see lots of lawyers' ads. Most seem to be bragging on results, but are they true or misleading? For example, in some cases, a firm may try a case even though the at-fault party has no lawyer, then brag in the ad about their results. My son Matt got one for nearly $50 million, but we never collected one dime. Some lawyers may say they got a result even though they were sitting second chair at a firm like mine, and even though they had little to do with it. Happens all the time. All that glitters is not gold. At Morgan & Morgan, our results are real. Visit forthepeople.com and go to settlements and verdicts to see for yourself what your case may be worth before you hire a law firm. Do your homework. Fact check. It's easy and too important not to. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com. Injured? Dial pound law.
Nicholas Russo, 157 Church Street, New Haven, 06510.
When it comes to affordable term life insurance, everyone's whistling the Big Lou tune. If you're over 50, maybe a bit porky, or have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost about $200 a month. Even if you're not in perfect health, call Big Lou, because he specializes in finding big chunks of affordable term life insurance for just about everyone. Don't let diabetes or other health glitches keep you from owning $500,000 to $1 million or more of of term life insurance. For affordable term life insurance, call Big Lou. Don't hesitate. Call 800-700-6898. 800-700-6898 or visit biglou.com.
Call Big Lou, don't hesitate. 800-700-6898. Call Big Lou, don't hesitate. 800-700-6898. Visit biglou.com.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
It's Reese on the Radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
Anyway, we'll get to a call in a second. We will also get to the Danbury racial profiling story in the next hour as well. Don't forget, always go to reasonoradio.com. Also go to WTIC.com or wherever you get your podcast to check out the program. Like Steve there in Andover, who said he can't always listen to the show, but when he can, he does, and you can never miss a minute, ever. You have no excuse. Just go to WTIC.com, all right? And you can check out the podcast there, which we break it down, right? We break it down like for you to take the show in portions, right? You know, which, you know, is great, because if you don't want to listen to me, of course you can listen to Roseanne. Well, I know you're your favorite person. I try not to get jealous about it, but, you know, I'm not jealous. I'm just, you know,
but it's called Reese on the radio. You're just like...
Yeah, what was that matter?
I'm the apple pie, remember? You might like the apple pie, but nobody's going, hey, where's that apple pie? Everybody's like, where's the guy who makes the pie so we can have more of the pie?
No, I don't make the pie. I just bring the pie.
Yeah, you're the bringer of said pie.
Let me get to one more.
It comes with great responsibility, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. What's going on, Doc? How are you?
Good. How you been?
I've been great, sir. You sound like you're far away. Where are you? Doc?
I had you on speaker.
Oh, okay. No problem. What's going on with you, sir?
Well, first of all, Roseanne.
Yes.
I adore you.
Thank you.
The way you stand your ground, and to the guy that you're arguing with, those of you who think you know everything are very annoying to those of us who do.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm going to assume I don't know everything, but I can see how it's very frustrating. I know it frustrates me when people who don't know what I know.
That's actually the greatest line ever.
You have no idea. Remember I told you, sitting in class, and I'd be like, why do we have to still keep learning this? We learned it yesterday. Yeah.
Go ahead, Doc. What's going on?
Well, this whole thing with Obama and everything, my father, when Obama was doing the deportations, was saying, this is just a cover. And he said, you wait, we're gonna reap the rewards of this, or shall I say, the just desserts of this. And we are.
I think he did. I think you're right. I think he laid the groundwork for a lot of what we're experiencing today.
If he can look back and say, hey, look, I deported all these guys. It's not my fault.
Yeah, exactly. It's
he you know, and then we had his puppet in there, Biden.
Yeah. I love the way people call Biden his puppet. Like,
wasn't he, though?
It was, I guess you can if the guy was completely incapacitated.
He was such a puppet, he never showed up.
Yeah.
Well, and I always called Obama.
Yeah, that's what I called him. I also called him the experiment. And that people didn't like that. You know why I called him the experiment, right?
Why?
Because everyone kept saying that the president had always been white guys. Why don't we give the black guy a try? So I said, okay, the experiment's over. In
That's what I
2016, I said, the experiment's over now.
But I could think of so many more people of color.
Clearly.
Would have done a better job.
Indeed. I couldn't agree with you more. Doc, I gotta go to a break soon, man. But thank you so much, man. I appreciate the call.
Take care.
You got it. We got to get our first check of traffic and weather. And Mark Christopher is here. He is in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. How are we doing today, Mark?
Well, good afternoon, Reese. Good afternoon, everyone. If you're heading into Hartford right now, 84 eastbound, got delays approaching 46th Avenue into the tunnel. Westbound 84 is a little tight coming out of the tunnel out to 47 Sigourney. Southbound 91 delays 33 down to 32 A and B. If you are traveling into Middletown, 9 northbound delays Harbor Park to the Aragoni Bridge. 84 westbound Waterbury is tight 22 up to the Mixmaster. And if you are traveling down into New Haven, that looks good. 91 on the Parkway, no issues. Traffic and weather together on the 8 WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Plus the chance of a rain or snow shower. The clouds and, of course, the rain and drizzle still sticking around for us tonight. A low of 38 degrees. Tomorrow, we're going to be cloudy, breezy, plus the chance of a rain or snow shower early in the morning, then a snow shower in the afternoon. High of 43 degrees. We're dragging in that cold air into tomorrow night, so it's no surprise that tomorrow night is mostly cloudy, breezy, and colder. A low of 19. Friday will keep us breezy, partly sunny, and still chilly with a high of 32. The weekend, we are watching for a storm system to skirt by the coastline, but for right now, the weekend starts off with intervals of clouds and sunshine and a bit of snow or rain showers at times, a high of 39 degrees. We'll watch for some activity Saturday night into Sunday, but then Sunday closes out the weekend, cloudy with a high of 36. Monday, we'll start off the work week, mostly sunny with a high of 35. This is meteorologist Melissa Constanzer in the WTIC Weather Center.
Mystic, Hamden, Putnam. When you want local news, turn to WTIC News Talk 1080, reporting on the local stories that affect you. From Manchester to Mystic, Hartford to Hamden, and Putnam to Plymouth, one radio station has your local news and breaking news as it happens. WTIC News Talk 1080. Listen on your radio, smart speaker, and on your phone with the free Odyssey app. This is WTIC News Talk 1080 with Brian and Company in the morning, Reese on the radio in the afternoon, and news around the clock. WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford and Odyssey Station.
It's 4 o'clock. Good afternoon. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. A Verizon outage is impacting millions of customers across the country. Company says it is aware that voice and data service for customers have been impacted, and it apologizes for any inconvenience. The State Department of Emergency Services and Public Protection says it is monitoring the situation, says those lacking cell coverage can make calls and text over Wi-Fi, and emergency calls can be made using the SOS feature. It is feared that thousands have been killed in anti-government protests in Iran, and executions are still a possibility. President Trump warns that if that happens, the U.S. will have a strong response.
A U.S. official has confirmed to CBS News that some personnel at the Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar, that's a giant U.S. air base here in the Middle East, have been advised to leave as a precautionary measure. Now, the background to that, of course, is that President Trump is mulling over potential military action against Iran because of its recent violent crackdown on protesters.
That's correspondent Holly Williams in northern Iraq. Lawmakers at the state capitol on Wednesday urged use of the $500 million reserve fund set aside by Governor Lamont last year. The money came out of the rainy day fund as a means to cover health and human services costs brought on by the government shutdown and cuts at the federal level. Human Services Committee co-chair State Representative Jillian Gilchrist says some departments still have not seen funding from the reserve account.
We are rapidly approaching the end of this month, and the Aging and Disability Services Department still has not received funds for a number of vital services for our seniors and their caregivers. And this includes health promotion and disease prevention in the amount of $194,000. This includes supportive services.
That money has to be used by February 4th, otherwise it'll revert back to the state's rainy day fund. New Haven police and the mayor say there was a drop in crime last year. WTIC's Dave Mager reports.
Mayor Justin Elliker says the city made progress in 2025.
Year over year, overall crime is down 23% from the year before.
And violent crime was down almost 40%, with gun violence at its lowest level in a decade. But Elliker says they're not taking a victory lap.
We have not said we have completely addressed violence, but we are making significant progress.
There were 16 homicides last year, one more than in 2024. Acting Police Chief David Zanelli, leading his first crime stats review, says they are getting more tips from the public in solving cases and preventing crime. Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News.
President Trump says it's unacceptable if the U.S. doesn't get its hands on Greenland today. That was ahead of a meeting between Vice President Vance and Danish officials that turned up nothing, it turns out. Correspondent Nancy Cortez.
President saying once again this morning on Truth Social that the U.S. needs Greenland for national security purposes because it's critical to the Golden Dome that he is building for defensive purposes. So he's not backing down. The question is what exactly is going to come out of this meeting.
The White House border czar Tom Homan defending ICE actions in Minneapolis and other sanctuary cities.
When you force us in the community to find the public safety threat, many times you're with others, or we find others in the process of doing that. If we find them, they're in the country illegally, they're getting arrested too. So more officers in the street means more collateral arrests.
President Trump says starting in February there will be no more federal payments. A federal judge recently ruled an executive order pausing federal funding was likely unconstitutional. Wall Street, the Dow down 42, the NASDAQ down 238 points, and the S&P down 36. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
When it comes to painting your home, do not do it yourself. Call the pros at CertaPro Painters. Each CertaPro Painters business independently owned and operated, and they provide worry-free, excellent work. They are so clean, and it's all at the right price. I mean, with over 70,000 five-star reviews, the proof is in their painting. And it's so easy to schedule your free estimate for painting the outside or inside of your home or business. Just go online to CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
I'm elder law attorney Haley Allaire. Our greatest reward is happy clients telling us that they're very thankful for our help.
I'm Carolyn from Coventry. Recently, my 82-year-old mother had a few falls and ended up in rehab. What we thought would be temporary care became permanent. When we applied for Medicaid, it was overwhelming. From our first meeting with Allaire Elder Law, they listened and guided us, providing clarity, kindness, and compassion. We were finally granted Medicaid, and a huge weight came off my shoulders. Thank you, Allaire Elder Law team.
AllaireElderLaw.com.
It's Reese on the radio. And don't say we didn't warn you on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC.
If we haven't mentioned it enough already, make sure you join myself and Roseanne on the radio at Hartford Turnpike in Vernon. We will be at the Between Rounds store from 2 to 6. We'll be broadcasting live there. Be a part of our studio audience. Come by and support Connecticut Food Share, who will also be there with a coupon for you to purchase a half price off a dozen bagels a month for 3 months. You can go there and get a coupon for that as well. Of course, you can support them in many other ways, but you could definitely support myself and Roseanne as we're there holding part, having the show there. Joey's going to be there as well. Roland will be here, unfortunately. Don't worry, we'll get him out to an event soon enough. I think we're going to do an event very soon at a sports bar that Roseanne and I like in the area. A sponsor of this station as well, Studio 15. Which is such a great place. We have a lot of fun there.
Great mocktails.
Mocktails. Yeah, Roseanne's really a big fan of the mocktails there. And so we're going to do an event there really, really soon. We're just trying to figure out. They're doing the Super Bowl there with another.
I'm not allowed to say that word.
Oh, that's right. The big game. That's right. I'm not allowed to say.
Big deal. Great. Now we're going to have to pay.
No, we don't.
No,
I corrected myself. We're doing a big game.
God, I can't take you anywhere.
Deal there, and so we're gonna watch it because we don't. Do we even have the network that will be airing the big game?
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't care.
Yeah.
Listen, I want wings, I want truffle fries, and I want a mocktail.
That's it.
I don't care about anything else.
That's it.
That's it.
That's all. So we'll be doing that. I don't think there's anything else. Who do you got so far? Are you betting for this Super Bowl, Roland? I would imagine you are. How much? How much are you allowed to bet? Like for yourself, not because of your wife. How much are you allowed to bet? Like, do you have a limit?
I don't have a limit, but I don't really go crazy anyway.
You don't? What's crazy?
Crazy is
like a yard, a thou.
yeah, that would be crazy.
That's a crazy.
I'm not doing that.
Okay,
I'm not. I don't.
500
I
too
work
high?
at a radio station, bro.
500 too high.
I don't do those big bets. My brother and my brother-in-law, they'll do those big bets, but I don't. When I went to pick up some of my winnings at the FanDuel Arena at Mohegan, and the guy before me, he was cashing out $13,000.
Damn.
But he was betting $2,000, $3,000, and I was like, man, that's a lot. And the guy was like, well, it depends on what person you are, if it's a lot or not, because they have people make 100,000, 200,000
I bet they are.
bets. So
How do you pay taxes on that?
I don't. You got to file them yourself.
yeah, you got to do it yourself.
As I always say to those guys who win that money.
But if you got a business, you could get yourself around a lot of that.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's true.
Otherwise, it's like considered a prize, so it's like 50%.
I know.
Yeah.
I know who.
I won a couple things, and I was able to get around it. So.
No, I hear that.
We'll talk.
Just let me hold $5. Anyway, Mark Christopher, he's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. I know you don't gamble like that. When's the last time you ever gambled on anything serious? Like $5 on like a gentleman's bet, right?
Yeah, so usually Super Bowl, I'll pick get a couple squares. That's about it. And
the squares thing, right?
Yeah, I do the Mega Millions and the Powerball. That's it.
Y'all gonna have to do my squares. I'm doing squares this year.
All right, there you go.
All right.
So that's kind of what I do.
You know what? You know what I just realized?
What?
You're both squares, both of you.
Well, yeah, no question about that.
I'm not doing that square thing.
And I'm a square trying to fit through a round hole, so it's even worse for me. Hey, if you're heading into Hartford right now, Reese, thank you. 84 eastbound, you got delays about a half mile before 46th Avenue down to the Bulkley Bridge. Westbound 84 is slowing coming out of the tunnel out to 45 Flatbush Avenue. Southbound 91 a little slow 33 down to 32 A&B. Northbound Route 9 got some slow traffic between exit 35 and 37 in New Britain. If you are traveling into Waterbury, slight slowdown approaching the Mixmaster in Waterbury on 84 West, 91 of the Parkway doing well toward New Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
We'll keep some of the clouds around as well as the chance for some rain and drizzle as we go through tonight. Just on occasion, low of 38 degrees for us. Tomorrow, it'll be cloudy and breezy with snow and rain early in the morning, then a snow shower possible for the afternoon, a high of 43. Tomorrow night, mostly cloudy, breezy, but colder, a low of 19 degrees. Friday, we're partly sunny and staying dry, breezy and colder, high 32. Saturday starts off the weekend with sunshine and clouds. Also, a few snow or rain showers at times, a high of 39. Sunday will close out the weekend cloudy and dry at a high of 36 degrees. We'll have to watch for Sunday night. There's going to be a storm cutting along the coast. Most of the activity should stay offshore, but it's something we're keeping a close eye on here at AccuWeather. Mostly sunny on Monday with a high of 35. Right now it's 47 in Manchester, 46 in Bristol, and 48 in Hartford. I'm meteorologist Melissa Constanzer in the WTIC Weather Center.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. After suffering an injury, you may face many hard questions. What will tomorrow bring? Which firm should I choose to represent me and my family? At Morgan & Morgan, we will hold your hand every step of the way. From our one-click sign-up, mobile apps, and 24/7 availability, we make it easy to get your case started right from the comfort of your couch. All firms are not the same. The choice is easy. Morgan & Morgan, for the people. Injured? Dial pound law.
Nicholas Russo, 157 Church Street, New Haven, 06510.
When winter weather hits, you can depend on WTIC and News Talk 1080 to get you through every storm. With weather, Bob Cox and the WTIC Weather Center working around the clock to give you the latest, most accurate winter weather forecast. With traffic, Mark Christopher and the WTIC traffic team will get you around the tie-ups. With news, the WTIC news team will have all the important news updates related to every storm. So when winter weather hits, and it will because it's winter and it's Connecticut, trust WTIC News Talk 1080 for the winter information you need without the hype.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
It's Reese on the Radio on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC.
All right, Roseanne is here, and we are back. Jason says that Seattle is going to win it all, in my opinion. Jason, if Sam Darnold wasn't there, I would want Seattle to win, but I just don't. I'm so sick and tired of former Jets quarterbacks doing well once they leave.
I think it's gonna be Denver Rams because that's the most.
Favored.
No, it's just like you got to put two teams together that you think people are gonna watch the most.
And you think that? Well, I'm sorry. You believe that fans want to see the Rams,
the best defense, in the NFL, the Denver Broncos.
Yes.
And the high-powered offense of the Rams and Puka Nacua and all them boys.
Yeah, I mean, I'll admit Denver's had a real. I mean, I'm looking at this kid Nix, and I'm going, Nix who? Like, this kid was awful last year. What happened? And apparently this kid woke up. But I am not a fan of watching the IKEA bags, also known as the Los Angeles Rams. Have you seen their colors, sweetheart?
No.
It's the same colors as IKEA bags.
I gave up on football once the last game that we saw where
when you became a Dallas Cowboys fan.
I've always been a Cowboys fan.
That's when you gave up on football.
Says the Jets fan. Thank you. Anyway, that game that we were watching where there was like 3 seconds left and they couldn't.
Is that the same game where the guy got busted with his side piece?
Yeah.
Yes, that was the game.
Yeah, that was it. When you can't move the ball until the ref comes over and puts his hand on it.
That's right. That was that game.
It's like that is
that
stupid.
was the game.
I'm done. What are they gonna start? They got to come over and burp each player between each play now and make sure their noses aren't tripping. Come on.
All right. Well, we promised to get into this topic. So apparently Danbury has what they're calling a racial profiling issue, and of course, the allegations are coming from a activist group that is trying to protect illegals in Danbury. Because for some odd reason, Danbury has become the epicenter for illegals. And I think this was the case from back in the 90s. There was a growing population of people from Central America and Mexico coming to the Brewster-Danbury region. And only reason why I know that is because I dated a girl who's from Danbury, now lives in New Milford, still lives there, has lived pretty much here for 20, 30 years now. Maybe, about 20 years now.
I'm doing some math here and
What? What?
We'll talk offline.
I'm old.
No.
Anyway.
That's not what I'm talking about.
What, the ex-girlfriend?
There's a lot. There seems to be some overlapping here.
Okay, we're not talking about that.
Okay.
Anyway. The bottom line is that she told me that population was growing. There were a lot of people from Central America coming into the Danbury and Brewster area. And of course, it is the epicenter when it comes to a lot of these arrests, if you will, in the region. I remember a famous line that said, somebody was arguing about the fact that in Harlem, there were per capita more black people arrested than other races in Harlem. To which the response was, well, of course, stupid. It's 90% black. So you're making an argument without stating what the overall population is. Like, you can't argue that if the police are arresting people, you really have to account for the population in that demographic if you're making a demographic argument. Which, again, this argument is ridiculous as well in Danbury, because the people who are being arrested apparently are Hispanic, and two, what they're arguing, Roseanne, is that arresting these folks will only alert ICE because, as it turns out, most of the people who are committing these infractions turn out to be illegals. Is that the case we're finding here?
Well, although I appreciate your friendly wording, that is close.
Okay.
These organizations are crying foul because they're saying that police are racially profiling Latinos specifically with the intention of handing them over to ICE for Trump. Okay.
The local police that is, I guess, through the Trust Act, are not supposed to cooperate with federal officers.
Exactly.
And they're making the argument that indeed the local police is doing just that?
Right. They're pulling over Latinos at a higher rate specifically with the intention of handing them over to ICE. Alleged. That's what they're alleging.
Now, a lot of the arrests that you have been going into turn out to be very particular arrests.
Right.
Individuals that, well, give us a breakdown of
Okay.
what you looked up.
So I want to start by saying that the population, the Latino population of Danbury is 31%.
That's
right?
high.
So that's just under 30,000%.
Okay.
Of that 30,000 persons. Of that 30,000 persons, nearly 8,000 of them are foreign born. That's
Okay.
all it says. It doesn't say anything about legal status, just that 8,000 are foreign born.
Okay.
Now, last summer, between June, July, and August, ICE did a sweep across 32 counties, or 32 locations, we'll say, because that's how they word it, in Connecticut. 32. Of those 32 locations that are consistently having ICE raids, in 2024, ICE arrested 247 illegal aliens. That was in 2024. In 2025, that number jumped up to 405. So not quite doubling. I'd say about 1.5. So of those 405 people in 32 locations in the city of Danbury, 25 people were arrested.
Okay, so only 25 in Danbury were arrested.
In 2025.
In 2025, which
In 3
again,
months.
the study that this group has done is for the year of 2025.
Right. They're alleging that
The 25 people.
They're alleging that that Latinos are being
Targeted,
pulled over, specifically with the intention of being handed over to ICE. However, only 25 people in Danbury of Latino descent have been arrested by ICE, detained by ICE, and the reason is 19 of them were actually were detained outside of a courthouse during the attempt to seek the legal system. That was the only.
Okay, so 19 of 26 were arrested at
25.
courthouse. Of 25 were arrested at courthouses.
Outside of a courthouse.
Wow.
After some sort of justice system interaction. It doesn't go into the specifics of what those actions were. And 6 of them were arrested in August. And yes, Connecticut does have the Trust Act, which prevents local law enforcement from engaging or assisting with DHS and ICE. Now, let me see.
Now, based upon that, what you're saying is that they did a study in 2025. You are looking at how many people in Danbury have been arrested, and that number only appears to be 25, and 19 out of the 25 were arrested outside of a courthouse, which then would beg the question, why would they consider it racial profiling? So that means that their theory is blown up.
Right. It gets better because...
well, I just want to play the explosion.
Load up.
That's all.
50%, which is about 13 of those arrests had pending criminal charges. 6 of them, which is 26%, 6 of them had already been convicted of a crime, and the remaining 6 had immigration violations. So of the 25 that were arrested, all of them were in some way involved in
criminal activity?
Criminal activity.
Just want to blow it up again. I'm just saying. Now,
one of which I do want to say that just in one sweep, some of them that were picked up
included
sex trafficking. they went into a house and they found a house full of underage children that were going to be sex
How many
trafficked.
people were in? How many men were in that house?
5 men.
5 men that they went into a house.
And one was illegal, or at least one was handed over to ICE or,
Okay.
or arrested by ICE.
One of them obviously was someone that ICE had to detain or needed to detain.
Right.
But the home they went into, there were 5 men in there, 4 of which were not on an ICE detainer or supposed to be removed by ICE.
That is an assumption that we can make.
Right. The assumption we can make is that they have at least had some form of legal status. Nonetheless, 5 men were involved in, or they found trafficking
sex
minors.
Trafficking children.
Exactly.
Then there was a guy who was arrested actually it was a female arrested for assault and attempting to evade arrest. And then a third one was domestic violence charges, I believe. I can't recall exactly. But these are not good people. These are not the type of people that you want in your neighborhood. Unless you're okay with, people kidnapping your children and selling them into sex industries, which is, I'm not going to say that out loud.
Okay.
I'll tell you offline.
Okay.
But some people, they're okay with this. And you know what? That's fine. Why don't you go live in their countries with them where it's okay to do these things?
It's interesting because a lot of these people who are here in Connecticut, by the way, that ICE raids are still taking place here in Connecticut.
Yes.
ICE is still active here in Connecticut.
Absolutely.
Yet you see none of the actions that people in Minneapolis are taking in ICE agents. So this idea that what's happening in Minneapolis is a larger sort of scale operation against ICE, that's not the case. They are not thwarting ICE in their duties here in the state of Connecticut.
Right.
But with that, I want to play this audio and video. People were asked in Minneapolis about if they were paying attention to the Somali fraud. White Mike called yesterday and said that they're ignoring, that this is an opportunity to ignore the Somali fraud. No one is ignoring it. The people who are out there think it's not happening.
How do you feel about the Somali fraud in Minneapolis?
I'll be honest, I haven't researched it a lot. But from what it looks like to me is it looks like it's a made-up concept from people trying to smear Governor Walz.
Now, did you hear what she said? She said she hadn't researched it a lot.
How do you feel about the Somali fraud in Minneapolis?
I'll be honest, I haven't researched it a lot.
I haven't researched it a lot.
What she's really saying is, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
but it's not true.
But didn't research it a lot, still managed to come up with an opinion on the thing she hadn't researched a lot.
But from what it looks like to me is it looks like it's a made-up concept from people trying to smear Governor Walz.
And it's a concept.
Sounds like a lot of an opinion there for somebody who knows nothing about it.
It's a concept. It's a thought process.
Here's another person that they asked about it, and he was actually pretty interesting.
Checked into that a little bit, right? There's nothing going on there. There's like this edgelord going around stirring up his mega conservative base, but none of this stuff is rooted in truth and reality. And I think if you just go out, do your own research, like actually do that. Like
this go it alone approach, doing your own research. It seems so innocent, but it can have serious consequences.
Yeah,
Dangerous.
like the truth.
You can't have the masses knowing the truth. I will tell you that one of the earliest forms of this is religion. Like if you go all the way back to the time of ziggurats in Ur and Uruk.
What you call me?
Wow. So if you go back to the earliest civilizations in the world, Ur and Uruk, not Africa, by the way, the easiest way to control the masses was only the elite were able to contact and communicate with the gods, right? And that's how you keep people in check is you don't give them information, you tell them what you need them to know so that they know how to comply.
Indeed.
Go and just like look at video evidence, come to a realistic opinion about what's going on in the world. It's a scapegoat, right, for anti-Somali immigration hate.
I don't know much about the Somali fraud.
He says, I don't know much about the Somali probe.
But it's fake, right?
Sounds like bullshit.
So there's a question as to whether it is a fraud. I don't know. I'm not following that real closely. So I will reserve judgment on that.
I'm going to say it.
No, do not say it. Roseanne is going to say Do not say it. You're all going to want to know what she said. I'll put it to you this way. I will play the audio when we get to between rounds on Friday, and then you can tell everybody in the audience what you wanted to say when you heard that guy on this piece. I'll play it again.
I have a First Amendment right, darn it.
But not on these airwaves, you don't. I'm going to just play it one more time, And Roseanne will tell you personally what she was going to say.
There's a question as to whether it is a fraud. I don't know. I'm not following that real closely, so I will reserve judgment on that.
You're going to have to go to between rounds to find out what Roseanne said about that piece. Anyway, here's one last woman.
I mean, I think that they were just using this as an excuse to go in there and scare people and show that they can be really powerful. I don't think it's authentic at all.
Yeah, I don't think it's authentic at all. All of these people say, do your own research, find out what's really going on, and then saying, oh, I haven't researched it, but I know it's phony. I know it's fake. When we come back, this is one that we have to play, so stand by for it. We played a little bit of what Joy Reid said on the Angela Yee podcast, but there was more to what Joy Reid said, and you are not going to want to miss it if you haven't heard it all the way. We'll break that down for you, so go nowhere. We'll also take your phone calls at 860-522-WTIC. Let's get another check of the roads. Mark Christopher, he's at the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Hey, sir.
Hey, Reese, thank you very much. Well, if you're heading into Hartford on the southbound side of 91, a little slow, 33 down to 32 A and B. Westbound 84 is tied up approaching the Bulkley Bridge, East Hartford out to 47 Sigourney. 84 eastbound slows approaching 46 Sisson Avenue into the Bulkley Bridge. Looks good 2 eastbound, Glastonbury to Marlboro. 9 northbound's a little tight, Harbor Park to the Irrigotti Bridge in Middletown. 9 northbound, again, some slow traffic approaching 37 in the 72 interchange. Westbound 84 at Waterbury's tight, 22 to the Mixmaster. A little slow down 95 south in New Haven, 46 down to exit 44 in New Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
The clouds and, of course, the rain and drizzle still sticking around for us tonight. A low of 38 degrees. Tomorrow, we're going to be cloudy, breezy, plus the chance of a rain or snow shower early in the morning, then a snow shower in the afternoon. High of 43 degrees. We're dragging in that cold air into tomorrow night, so it's no surprise that tomorrow night is mostly cloudy, breezy, and colder. A low of 19. Friday will keep us breezy, partly sunny, and still chilly with a high of 32. The weekend, we are watching for a storm system to skirt by the coastline, but for right now, the weekend starts off with intervals of clouds and sunshine and a bit of snow or rain showers at times, a high of 39 degrees. We'll watch for some activity Saturday night into Sunday, but then Sunday closes out the weekend, cloudy with a high of 36. Monday, we'll start off the work week, mostly sunny with a high of 35. This is meteorologist Melissa Constanzer in the WTIC Weather Center.
This is an important public service announcement for our listeners. Reese on the Radio is also a podcast. You can find us anytime on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Catch the full episode, listen by individual hour, or jump straight to the highlights. Just open up your favorite podcast app, search Reese on the Radio, and hit the follow button so you can get every minute of the show your way and on your time. And now, a WTIC news update.
4:30 Hartford temperature 45 degrees. I'm John Silva. WTIC 1080 News. Verizon wireless customers across the country have been experiencing outages. The company says it is aware of the problem and is working on a fix. The State Department of Emergency Services and Public Protection here says customers can still use the SOS feature should they need to make an emergency call. Top Danish official says a fundamental disagreement over Greenland remains with President Trump after talks in Washington with Vice President Vance and Secretary of State Rubio. The two sides did agree to create a working group to discuss ways to work through their differences as Trump continues to call for a U.S. takeover. Iran's top judge hinting at speedy trials and executions that are ahead amid protests, with the president threatening very strong action if that does come to fruition. Man remains hospitalized after he was shot on the streets of Hartford Tuesday. Victims in critical condition. That shooting occurred on Albany Avenue. Officers were tipped off that the victim was in the hospital as they were processing that scene, alerted by ShotSpotter notification. Bridgeport man is under arrest in a deadly hit-and-run in Stratford. Police there say Kevin O'Neill struck two pedestrians, one of whom died on January 9th on South Avenue. And in Meriden, police are investigating a crash that occurred in the parking lot of a McDonald's on Main Street. This is where a man is accused of backing into his mother. and then hitting a 13-year-old boy who'd been walking with his friends. Both victims are in the hospital in stable condition. Markets finished in the red today. The Dow lost 42 points. The Nasdaq dropped 238, and the S&P was down 37. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com. Auto repair bills are through the roof. $3,000 to replace the transmission. $4,000 for a blown engine. And if your manufacturer's warranty is expired, you'll have to cover it all out of pocket. You need an Endurance Auto Protection Plan. No matter what the mileage, if your car is under 20 years old, Endurance can get you covered on the engine, electrical system, transmission, AC, drivetrain, and more. Endurance has plans for any budget. Repairs can be done at the certified mechanic of your choice, and they're paid directly with no middleman. Plans cover 24/7 roadside assistance, towing, battery jumps, fuel deliveries, tire changes, lockout services, and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Act now and get our elite benefits, including complete tire care and key fob replacement. A $2,000 value at no extra cost. With Endurance, you could never pay for covered auto repairs again, so call now for your free quote. Call 800-253-6203. 800-253-6203. 800-253-6203.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband Ryan died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Stay locked in. Reese on the Radio is on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Hey, now we are back, and let me take Sean in Meriden real quick. He's been on hold for a little bit, and thank you for being patient, Sean. How are you?
I don't mind listening. You guys are fantastic, and Roseanne, you impress me. The more I listen to you, and
Thank you.
That you have a process that you were one way, and then you took the information, you processed it, and then you came up with a new conclusion, is a great model for people who want to use some common friggin' sense. It just blows me away. But one of the things that I really was concerned about, and it's a question, is the judge stopped President Trump from stopping payments for fraud. So my question is, when did fraud suddenly become a constitutional right?
Indeed. Couldn't agree with you more. Probably because the judge is suggesting that the fraud doesn't exist, that it's only a theory of fraud.
Judge is on the take.
Yeah. But it's the theory, but that's what it is. That's what the judge is using as it's in the ruling. It's in essence, it's a theory of fraud that is unproven. We know that what the nonsense is, that this is judge shopping at its worst. Right, and a judge with his, its own TDS sort of thwarting the administration as it does.
Okay, but let's conservatively, I accept that, but conservatively, they said 1,000 people, employees in the state of Minnesota have been warning about this fraud. So, number one, why would you risk your job? Let's take that 1,000 and throw it away, and let's go conservatively. 250 people in the system come forward and say, we believe there's fraud going on, and you've had TSA agents in inspecting luggage leaving Minnesota open it and just see friggin' cash.
Yeah. That story has, and that story should have been everywhere instead of a place like Just the News with John Solomon. That story should have been everywhere. And it's hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Millions. Okay.
Well, it's millions altogether.
It's actually billions.
No, it's
And-
millions.
and-
It's millions that were in the suitcase, but each encounter was thousands, hundreds of thousands of
I saw
dollars.
one story that they did back in 2007
Mhm.
where they were, the day that this particular news outlet was at the TSA,
Mhm.
they stopped one man who had a carry-on with $1 million in it, which you're allowed to do, but you have to fill out a form.
Right.
And it was on his way to Somalia.
And here's a part, and I'll end on this and listen to you guys. I owe taxes. You can fine me for $1,500.
Sure can.
Don't tell me you can't fine $9 billion.
Yeah, somebody wrote that on a meme. Sean, this is such a great point. Someone wrote a meme on Facebook that said, we're looking at people who have a problem with us uncovering the Somali fraud, but didn't blink an eye when the Biden administration wanted me to account for $600 in a Venmo payment. That I had to declare with the IRS.
It's absolutely not.
Yeah.
And anybody on the left that you want to say this, okay, do not let me come close to you. Because as soon as you open your mouth and say something stupid, I will pull a tuna out of the back of my car and slap you silly.
Don't do no violence. No violence, Sean. God bless you, man.
I'm not. It's only a fish. It's really not a fish because I think it's a feather. Because I can get in their reality. It's not.
Thank
it
you.
Identifies as a feather, okay?
Goodbye.
Yes,
Thank
exactly.
You.
He does.
Thank you, Sean. Get out of here. Let's take a break. Let's get to some traffic and weather. Mark Christopher, he's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
Hey, Reese, thank you very much. Well, if you're heading into Hartford right now, actually pretty good ride. Really nothing to really get all worried about. Southbound 91, just some slow traffic, 33 down to 32 A and B. Westbound 84 slowing, approaching the Bulkley Bridge out to 45 Flatbush Avenue. 84 eastbound tight, approaching 46 Sisson Avenue down to the Bulkley Bridge. If you are heading in toward Middletown, 9 northbound, your typical delay, Harbor Park to the Aragoni Bridge. Westbound 84 a little slow at the Mixmaster in Waterbury. Good ride 91 of the Parkway toward New Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8th. WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Tonight, it's a little bit of rain and drizzle that gets added into those cloudy skies. Temperatures falling back to 40 degrees. Tomorrow, we'll have clouds and sunshine, but we'll also be breezy with snow and rain early in the morning, plus the chance for a snow shower as we head through the afternoon. A high of 43, but those temperatures fall off very quickly into tomorrow night. Mostly cloudy, breezy, and colder, a low of 19 degrees. Friday, partly sunny and certainly staying cool as we keep things breezy, a high of 32 degrees. Saturday, sun and clouds mixed with a bit of snow and rain at times, a high of 39. And as we go into Sunday, we'll finish off the weekend cloudy, largely dry with a high of 36. Sunday night, we're watching a storm system skirt by the coastline. That should stay largely offshore, but AccuWeather's keeping a close tab on it. And we'll see Monday as a mostly sunny day with a high of 35. Right now it's 47 in Windsor, 47 in New Britain, and 48 in Hartford. I'm meteorologist Melissa Constanzer in the WTIC Weather Center.
Join us this Sunday for Tumalo Financial, your go-to for retirement planning and taxes. Tune into the father-son duo from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. or catch replay from 5 to 6 p.m. Tumalo Financial, retirement planning with integrity on WTIC News Talk 1080.
When you enter a place of business, you're owed a legal duty that the place of business is safe for you to shop in. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you suffered an injury at a place of business, our duty is to protect you after that harm.
Injured? Dial pound law.
Nicholas Russo, 157 Church Street, New Haven, 06510.
Hair Volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. Available as a tablet or delicious gummy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and at newnordicusa.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
Why choose Affordable Baths? Because they're the only ones that give you the price up front. The other guys don't. The other guys install roofs, siding, windows, and doors. Affordable Baths installs bathrooms, just bathrooms, and they use Kohler fixtures. The other guys don't. Affordable Baths has a showroom that you can see, feel, and touch what you're buying. With the other guys, you'll never see your salesperson after you sign the deal. At Affordable Baths, they're with you every step of the way. So the question is not why would you buy from Affordable Baths, it's when will you work with Affordable Baths. Keep it affordable at affordablebaths.com.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right, you can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code FRESH to get an extra 35 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code FRESH for a 35 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code FRESH for a 35 cents per gallon bonus.
The NAACP calls him, whoa, I don't think I'm allowed to read this. It's Reese on the Radio. Let's just say some people are not fans. On News Talk 1080 WTIC.
All right, we are back. And I'm going to take the full weight of what I'm about to say. I do not want you co-signing.
Okay.
All right? Just because it's my show, I'm on the marquee, and I have to defend what I'm about to say.
Okay.
All things considered with Leroy's phone call today. Leroy, I'm sorry, buddy, but this one's for you. I cannot trust black liberals. I can't. And here's why. They lie an awful lot. And I can't trust them to tell the truth. What I'm about to say next is truthful, yet controversial, but not for the sake of being. It just is. African Americans know, bar none, they will tell you, bar none, they have no political power. They know. That's the reason why they fight for it every day. They have no power. They are constantly demeaned. They are subjugated. In some cases, they are ignored. And they fight for some level of prominence or existence or even consideration in the political sphere. Some of that is due to their own inaction, inability to engage, not care, don't vote, don't believe in the process, whatever it may be. But they have no power. These are their own words. These are not mine. These are their words in these communities. So who does in the Democrat diaspora of African Americans? White folks. White people have the power. Hakeem Jeffries notwithstanding. The Timu Obama. But he is not the power. Nancy Pelosi is his overlord, as is Chuck Schumer. Ask Hakeem Jeffries, the leader of House Democrats, about Chuck Schumer's leadership. Go look it up online when he was asked just a couple of months ago. You saw that boy dancing, tap dancing all over the place because he couldn't answer the question. Why? Because he answers to the white man, as many liberals do in the black community. It is a fact. So when I call the NAACP, the Urban League, Black Lives Matter, all of them, when I call them the real Toms, the House Negroes, it's because they answer to the powerful white elites of their party. They do what they tell them to do. Go find yourself an African American who publicly denounces men in females' spaces. Find him. Find me the prominent African American of any political power, weight, or prestige. Wasn't the most powerful black man who was president of the United States, Barack Obama, just on his wife podcast saying that every man should have a gay person in their life so they can know what it was like to be a man. Yes, it was. So, whom do they answer to? They're white overlords. It's just a fact. Roseanne, do you need to take that? Okay. That's who they answer to. And that's a fact. Because, again, ask them, they will tell you. They have no power. Blacks have no power politically. So where do they get their marching orders from? They get their marching orders from white people. Now, sure, they'll go on television shows and say all that, white people this and white people that and white folks say nothing. You know why? Because they know they have no power. They know. Yeah. Do your thing. Do your thing, sister girl. Yeah, you're right. White power needs to be, squashed and the whole 9 yards. But we're still in charge. You know that? Yeah, sure. We'll give you a couple of crumbs here and there. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you want some power? Yeah, here you go. Give you a little bit of power. Don't get too uppity. Don't you dare. You start stepping out of the lines. You start coloring outside the lines. We'll get rid of you. Ask Jamal Bowman. Ask Corey Bush. Where are they? Bye-bye. All gone. Jasmine Crockett, too. Let us say something a little off color. They'll get rid of her, too, when she's no longer useful. You notice she never talks any smack about her white overlords. Never seen her come down on Nancy Pelosi, have you? You ever see her come down on Chuck Schumer? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not, because they know who's in charge. Now, that being said, I want you to listen to this, because it is true, and it is a fact, that these people answer to white folks. Joy Reid, ladies and gentlemen. Yesterday, we played this audio.
This woman was part of a group of people who they train to try to be ICE interrupters.
Mm-hmm.
And what they try to do is observe what ICE is doing, film them, and try to use their white privilege, to be honest. They're mainly white people.
Which is what we ask.
Which is what we ask them to do, right?
Yeah.
Because black people, we can't put our bodies on the line because cops will shoot us. And so the presumption had been, particularly a white woman, because remember, part of the rationale for doing this with ICE is to save white women, pristine white women, from being ravaged by, criminal brown men. So white women, have been taking the lead in being the ones to step forward and challenge ICE and to say, as white people, we can step to ICE and step to police in a different way.
That's right. But now, one white woman has been shot and killed. Joy Reid, which kind of dispels what you're saying, but not entirely. Now, everybody was playing that clip yesterday. What I found crazy is that they didn't play the rest of it, because Joy Reid went on to say this.
In this case, this white woman and her wife, who's also a white woman, were driving in an SUV. They parked to try to block ICE from snatching people out of a suburban neighborhood. This was not like on the mean streets in Minneapolis. This was in a suburb.
Yeah,
with,
the neighbor
houses.
was a doctor.
The neighbor's a doctor. This is a quiet white suburb. So they're driving and they park. The ICE agents come up to the car. They get out of the car, and they, to shorten it, they bang on her door and tell her, get out of the car. They order her to get out of the car. She panics and starts to back up to get away. And one of the ICE officers, Jonathan Ross, shot 3 times into the car, shot her in the face, and killed her.
Now, why can't I trust black liberals? Because you lie for white people. You just lying for massa. That white lady ain't do nothing wrong. She just backed up her car, and the ICE agents just shot her when she backed up the car. She shot her. They shot her when she backed up the car. He reached in and he shot her. They killed that white lady. They killed Mammy. That's exactly what she said. I can't trust you, Negroes. The way you lie on white people or lie for them. Everybody knows that that's not what happened. Why is Joy Reid, one of the most prominent podcasters, news people in the world, on TV, lying on that white woman? Lying about what happened? Why would she lie? She ain't taking no brothers or no sisters. She went on to talk about the reason why those white women were there is because they interact differently with ICE, because we can't put ourselves on the line because they kill us. And then the white woman went out there to do our bidding. because they know that we can't. Tell me you are not a step-in fetch-it without telling me you're a step-in fetch-it.
The reason I think this is significant and is different from the previous shootings is, to me, this is a George Floyd moment.
And not far from
where that happened, right? 6 years later. And the reason I think it's a George Floyd moment is that George Floyd answered the question, are black people making it up when we say cops can just kill us and will, right? And we saw a police officer with people filming him was willing to kill George Floyd in front of a crowd on camera. In this case, I think it's a George Floyd moment because this is one of those moments when somebody who's supposed to be safe with law enforcement, a white woman, a Christian, a mom, she had just dropped her kid off, her 6-year-old off at school, who's doing all the right things. She is a citizen. This is not a question of her being an undocumented immigrant.
It didn't feel like ICE agents were in danger of their lives in any way. They could easily have moved out of the way.
Easily, and did move out of the way, and walked away, no injuries.
I'm sorry, what? There were no injuries, Joy Reid? Nobody was injured?
And I understand you have new reporting on the ICE agent who fatally shot Renee Good in Minneapolis last week. What can you tell us about that?
That's right. So CBS News has heard from several officials that that agent, Jonathan Ross, suffered internal bleeding. We've tried to get clarification exactly the extent of his injuries and try and learn a bit more about that. Of course, that has become deeply politicized, both here in Minnesota and across the country.
Now, why are you lying? Why are you lying for that white woman? Joy Reid? Why? It gets better.
The chief of police in Minneapolis said no one was injured except the woman who is dead. None of those men were injured. And it was that moment where you realize nobody's safe.
Yeah.
White women aren't safe. They'll kill them too.
I can't trust you. You will lie and you will lie. I'm sorry. And what's it for? Why are you lying? Just ask yourself a question. Why would you lie? Why do you lie about statistics? Why do you lie about history? Why do you lie about things that we know are facts? Why? Who are you protecting? It ain't you. I think you're protecting Massa. I know you're protecting Massa. Who else you got? Who gives you all the goodies? Huh? Who else is going to give you that hog maws? Huh? Who else going to give you them chitlins? Huh? Who else going to give you them reparations? Them little pennies? Them scraps? Who going to let you eat the grizzle off the chicken wings? Huh? Who? I'm sorry if your feelings are hurt. Don't care. I'm saying it to hurt your feelings because I know you're emotional. I know you're emotional. I say it to make you mad. I say it to make you call my bosses. I say it because I know you're gonna. I know you get riled up. You get sweaty right now. Them beads of sweat going down your neck. Getting real angry. I know. I ain't here to make you feel good. I'm not here trying to placate you. I know. Massa do that good for you, don't you? It ain't your fault. It's just the way you were born, where you were raised. That's what they tell you. Can't be civilized. It's just not in your nature. What are they like? I know, because this is the way you talk about me, right? But I have no overlords. I have none. They could fire me. They can expel me all they want. I have no overlords. I got nobody lying in my pockets. I ain't begging nobody for no reparations. I ain't begging nobody for no scraps. I'll get down on the street and hustle if I got to. A lot of you do. Ain't to say all of you are just running around bumming. But I ain't lying for nobody. I damn sure ain't lying for these folks. They're the ones who put you out of sorts. They're the ones who keep you in poverty. They're the ones who keep you begging. No one likes a beggar. No one. I damn sure don't. And I don't want to be a part of it. So, gather your feelings. Okay? Dust yourself off. Wipe off the sweat. That's okay. I'm going to teach you how it's really, really done. That's all. It's going to happen. It's going to happen one way or another. Or you could just call Massa. I know you will. I know you will. What choice do you have? Because again, as I said, you have no power. But you want to get some? Follow me. If it's all that important to you, follow me. Because ask yourself, how long's it been, ladies and gentlemen? How long's it been? Huh? You've been following these people, lying for these people, telling their lies over and over again, doing their bidding, lying about genetics, lying about biology, lying about what a man is and a woman is. You can't even define it anymore. You've allowed women to take over your household. A man doesn't even run the household anymore. You did everything that they told you to do, and for what? So you can take their pennies. And the only thing you ever wanted was power. All you ever wanted was your family back. Well, you did that for 60, 70 years. How about we try something different? Just saying. Tell your friends. Now, let's get another check of traffic and weather. We'll be back after this. Mark Christopher, he's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center.
All right, Reese, thank you very much. Well, if you're heading into Hartford right now, eastbound side of 84, look for tight traffic as you move just after 44 Prospect Oakwood down to the Bulkley Bridge. Westbound 84 is tied up approaching the Bulkley Bridge out to 45 Flatbush. Southbound 91 delays 33 down to 32 A and B in Hartford. Both sides of 9 heavy approaching the Aragoni Bridge in Middletown. Sluggish traffic 9 northbound Berlin 32 to 34 again as you approach exit 37 in New Britain for the 72 interchange. Heading down in toward New Haven, 95 southbound some slow traffic 46 down to 44 and 91 in the Parkway, both in very good shape. Traffic and weather together on the 8 WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
The clouds and, of course, the rain and drizzle still sticking around for us tonight. A low of 38 degrees. Tomorrow, we're going to be cloudy, breezy, plus the chance of a rain or snow shower early in the morning, then a snow shower in the afternoon. High of 43 degrees. We're dragging in that cold air into tomorrow night, so it's no surprise that tomorrow night is mostly cloudy, breezy, and colder. A low of 19. Friday will keep us breezy, partly sunny, and still chilly with a high of 32. The weekend, we are watching for a storm system to skirt by the coastline, but for right now, the weekend starts off with intervals of clouds and sunshine and a bit of snow or rain showers at times, a high of 39 degrees. We'll watch for some activity Saturday night into Sunday, but then Sunday closes out the weekend, cloudy with a high of 36. Monday, we'll start off the work week, mostly sunny with a high of 35. This is meteorologist Melissa Constanzer in the WTIC Weather Center.
There's a lot happening in Washington and in your local neighborhood. Follow WTIC News Talk 1080 on the Odyssey app to keep up with the latest. This is WTIC News Talk 1080 with Brian and Company in the morning, Reese on the radio in the afternoon, and news around the clock. WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford and Odyssey Station.
It's 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. Customers of Verizon Wireless have been experiencing outages today. Millions of customers, in fact. Company says they are aware that voice and data service has been impacted and is apologizing for any inconvenience as it works to fix the problem. Here in Connecticut, the Department of Emergency Services and Public Protection says it is monitoring the situation as well. The department says those who lack cell coverage can still make calls and text over Wi-Fi, and also emergency calls can be used through the SOS feature. President Trump says the Iranian government has stopped its crackdown on protesters. Linda Kenyon has more from the White House.
We've been told that the killing in Iran is stopping.
President Trump speaking in the Oval Office before signing an executive order restoring whole milk in the schools.
And there's no plan for executions or execution.
The president in recent days has said help is on the way for protesters in Iran, while hundreds, perhaps thousands, have been killed. Also in recent days, the Iranian regime had said it would begin hangings of protesters. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
Denmark's foreign minister spoke today after meeting with Vice President Vance and Secretary of State Rubio over Trump's desire to obtain Greenland. Lars Løkke Rasmussen says his country and the U.S. have to agree to disagree for now.
We had what I will describe as a frank but also constructive discussion. The discussions focused on how to ensure the long-term security in Greenland. And here our perspectives continue to differ, I must say.
Germany's defense ministry says it'll send troops to Greenland along with other European countries. The 11-year-old girl whose remains were found in a container in an abandoned home in New Britain last fall had amphetamines in her system. That from an autopsy report from the medical examiner on Jacqueline Torres Rodriguez. The ME says Mimi weighed only 27 pounds at the time of death. New Haven police say violent crime down 40% from the previous year, last year. And gun violence in the Elm City is at its lowest level in a decade. Acting Police Chief David Zanelli cited some reasons for the progress.
We feel that the community is talking to us more and providing vital information when needed. We have expanded our technological capabilities by adding more cameras, license plate readers, shot spotter expansion, drones, Star Chase, and the mayor has been great by supporting all of these programs for us.
Zanelli and Mayor Justin Elicker say there's still work to do. There were 16 homicides in the city last year, up from 15 in 2024. Zanelli has just stepped into the chief's role. Former Chief Carl Jacobson is being investigated by state police accused of stealing funds. Clock's ticking when it comes to use of $500 million in emergency funding Governor Lamont set aside last year to deal with the cuts from the federal government. That money from state reserves is earmarked to fund health, housing, and other essential needs. If not used by the start of the legislative session next month, it reverts back to the Rainy Day Fund. Aisha Clark is Executive Director of Health Equity Solutions. She says community health workers need help.
During COVID-19 pandemic, wasn't so long ago, CHWs were on the ground combating misinformation, supporting vaccine confidence, connecting families to testing and care, and ensuring residents receive accurate, culturally responsive information.
Senator Kathy Austin, the co-chair of the Appropriations Committee, is proposing to use part of the fund to establish a Connecticut SNAP program for food assistance to blunt costs, cuts that is, at the federal level. On Wall Street this afternoon, it was a down day all around. The Dow dropped 42 points. The NASDAQ lost 238. The S&P was down 37. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
My home is my happy place, but between pets and kids, my happy place has scuffs and dings. CertaPro painters came in and saved the day. They can level up your curb appeal on the outside of your home and get those hard-to-reach places on the inside, too. My team also made sure my cats didn't get out, and they left my place spotless. Each CertaPro painter's business, independently owned and operated. Protect your home investment with quality painting from CertaPro painters. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro painters.
I can't get the signal. Okay, seriously. Now there's absolutely no excuse not to listen to WTIC News Talk 1080. You can literally hear us anywhere when you listen on your smartphone. And now you can hear us on the Odyssey app, the iHeartRadio app, and the TuneIn app. So pick your favorite and search and follow WTIC News Talk 1080 in the app. Then listen wherever you are. It's really that easy. So no more, I can't get the signal. We've made it easy. WTIC News Talk 1080 on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps. The hour that packs a punch. It's Reese on the Radio on WTIC News Talk 1080.
We're back. Roseanne says that her facial expressions have no inside voice.
My face has no inside voice, and you know this. My face will tell you what my mind is thinking, even though my mouth is closed.
Your response... Your face, I was just going back looking at the video, and you are all over the place. You're right. Maybe I should have warned you.
Warn me, or at least turn the camera off. My mic, my camera, everything. Just turn it off.
Melody says, great rant, Reese, but just warn Roseanne when you decide to rant. Danielle said, "Thank you, wow, Reese. What a sermon, keeping it real." Thank you, and Doc Holliday, thank you so much. Said, I get this a lot from a lot of people. That's just like, well, why do you bring up the racial stuff? That's not on me, man. I didn't start it, but I plan on finishing it. That's just the way. That's the way it goes.
It's the Chicago way.
It is the Chicago way.
Guy brought.
Bring a knife. Bring a gun.
He brought brass knuckles, and you just.
I bring bazookas.
You nuked the poor guy.
I just know. It's just because I am so sick and tired of people lying to me all the time for the sake of victimhood. It's annoying. And, I used to have this argument all the time where somebody used to say, Jesus was black. And I'm going.
No, he wasn't. He was Jewish.
But there's like, he was black. And I'm going, and the reason why that is, and I'll tell you, and it's as simple as that, and it's so nefarious, right? It's so underhanded that the argument that Jesus was black is just for one reason. And it's just to say that because Jesus was black, well, that means that every black person has a little bit of Jesus in them. Right, and that's what it's about. Sort of pointing it out.
It's a terrible joke in
that.
It's
a terrible joke in that. But that's what the purpose of saying that is. It's like pointing it out and just being absolutely like so diehard about Jesus was black, and I'm just like, yeah, but that doesn't mean that you are now like just like Jesus. It's like you're trying to find some lineage like in your skin color
Your
that now
dinner was a cow.
Yeah,
Does that make you a cow?
Yeah, it's really, really like there's some association and just knock it off, right? It doesn't help your argument, in any way. And I just hate that. If you're going to make it racial, fine, let's make it racial. Right? If you want to go there, let's go there.
But just don't do it with me so close. Although I enjoyed the diatribe.
Yes, but you just can't.
Just take me off camera.
Yeah, no problem. I'll do that. It's okay. Anyway, we'll be back. More news, more views. We got plenty of stuff to get into. Mark Christopher, he's getting you home because I know you're in the car. He's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
Hey, Reese, thank you very much. This traffic report being brought to you by Columbia Implant Center in Manchester. And looking around the Hartford area, things are not too bad. Westbound 84, just some tight traffic approaching the Bulkley Bridge out to 45 Flatbush. 84 eastbound's tight. Half mile before 46th Avenue into the tunnel. 91 southbound delays 33 down at 32 A and B, and again down by exit 28. If you are traveling into Middletown, both sides of 9 heavy approaching the Aragodi Bridge in Middletown. 9 northbound sluggish 32 up to exit 34. Again from 35 up to 37 in New Britain. If you are traveling into the Waterbury area, 84 westbound a little slow at the Mixmaster. 84 eastbound Cheshire slowing by the 691 interchange. South 95 New Haven's a little tight, 46 down to 43 in West Haven. Traffic moves slow, but your transformation shouldn't. Columbia Implant Center provides full dental implants in just one visit. Open 7 days a week in Manchester to fit your busy life. Get your smile back today at ColumbiaImplantCenter.com. Traffic and weather together on the 8 WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Rain has been exiting our area to the north, and we're still left with some rain and occasional drizzle as we head through tonight. A low of 40 degrees. Tomorrow, it's sun and clouds mixing with us for the day, but we'll also have to watch out for a snow or rain shower early in the morning, and then the chance for some snow showers in the afternoon. A high of 43 degrees. Tomorrow night, mostly cloudy, breezy, and colder. Low 19 degrees. Friday, partly sunny and breezy, plus still chilly as we hit a high near 32. Saturday starts off our weekend with clouds and sunshine, also a bit of snow and rain at times, a high near 39. And Sunday we stay cloudy with a high near 36. We'll watch Sunday night because there is a storm system that's going to be sliding its way up the coast. And AccuWeather's forecast officially largely keeping offshore, but this is a close call and a storm to watch. It could have some impact Sunday night. Ultimately, though, Monday should be dry, mostly sunny, with a high near 35. Right now, it's 46 in Farmington, 46 in Windsor, South Windsor, I should say, and 45 in Hartford. I'm meteorologist Melissa Constanzer in the WTIC Weather Center.
Brian Shackman here for QC Kinetics. Listen, all of those New Year's resolutions are coming from you at all sides. But when it comes to joint pain, if you're suffering, you can do something about it right now. And at QC Kinetics, they have a free consultation. You go in there, you talk to them. If it's right for you, great. At the minimum, you learn something about your body. And whether it's hips, shoulders, back, whatever it is, if it hurts, they can help you. It's non-invasive. invasive. There's no surgery. There's no drugs. You can skip that 3 to 6 months of recovery. Give QC Kinetics a call. And again, they're in Avon, New Haven, and Glastonbury, so chances are they're really close to you. So stop doing nothing. Start doing something with QC Kinetics and get moving without pain. And it's a new phone number, so grab your pencil so you can set up that free consultation at 860-850-2682. Again, 860-850-2682. Again, QC Kinetics, they're in Avon, Glastonbury, and New Haven. If you have joint pain, you want to do something about it, set up that free consultation at 860-850-2682.
As the owner, coach, and quarterback of your small business, you call the shots. From inventory to payroll and more. Now it's time to bring in LendSeek, your funding MVP. No delay of game here. Get up to $2 million in as fast as 24 hours for business lines of credit or term loans. Let LendSeek's AI marketplace assist you in making the winning play and score that touchdown. Apply at lendseek.com, LENDSEEK.com.
Hola, amigos! It's a big noise. Brad Evans from BetMGM tonight. Listen Monday through Friday starting at 6 p.m. Eastern on Westwood One Sports as we cover the biggest sports stories from coast to coast. Get insights on the NFL playoffs, college basketball conference races, and more. Download the Odyssey app now and listen from anywhere. BetMGM tonight, live and interactive, presented by BetMGM. Tune in, Team Huevos.
It's Reese on the Radio on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC.
You know, your camera is clearer than my camera for some reason. I got to figure that out. And your camera is incredibly clear. I got to figure that out somehow. Are you still shy now?
No. Okay. I'm.
You doing research?
Am I allowed to? No. If I told you what I was doing right now, you'd probably be annoyed.
Are you going over numbers?
No. I'm editing pictures that I took at one of the missions in San Antonio because I just found out I can delete certain things out of my pictures. So.
Okay.
I'm trying to cope with what I just experienced.
Don't worry about it.
I know
it's
it wasn't
okay.
aimed at me, but I feel bad.
It's all right. Look, it's a brand new day. It's a whole new day. Let me take this real quick. Bill in Granby has been on a hold for a while. Thank you, Bill, for standing by. How are you, sir?
I am doing well. Another great show. I just wanted to call in and chime in about these fourth wave liberal feminists that we're watching melt down all over the country. It's I'm 63, so I was 10 years younger than the actual hippies that then trained all these fourth waivers, right?
Wow.
So it's just interesting to see you've got all these hippies that were professors at the universities that indoctrinated over the course of, several decades. Sure. They indoctrinated the fourth waivers. And now when you look at the protests, it's all fourth wave white liberal women that are like 70 and 80 years old. And then you've got all these proteges like the woman that just got herself killed. And they're on the wrong side of every issue.
Right.
If you look at the real feminists in Iran, and what the women in Iran, the courage that they have, and other places around the country where, in the UK and in Ireland, where Islam is being rejected by Christian nations as it has been for thousands of years because they're incompatible. These feminists are on the wrong side of every issue. They never speak up when the real feminists are involved. And, I saw Nixon go down. I saw the Vietnam War. My cousins were 10 years older than me for that war.
Wow.
So I've been around a long time and have seen a lot. And I was old enough to remember when the Shah of Iran was deposed, and now here we are full circle where they want the Shah back, right?
Right.
So it's just interesting to see men forever have shed the blood, and then in Iran, these courageous women fill the vacuum. The men shed the blood and lose their lives and overturn the government without any arms in a lot of cases. And then these courageous women that want freedom take off their burqas. And in the meantime, the liberal women in the U.S., the feminists, the proclaimed feminists in the U.S. are completely silent. They have nothing to say about the courage of the women in Iran who are the real feminists. The whole thing is just a fraud, and I've seen it. I'm 63. I've seen it my entire life. the 19th Amendment is the biggest mistake that the United States ever made. It just is. You know,
wow.
We've had this we've had this experiment, and we've given liberal white women. Men built society. They built everything on the planet, and they maintain it. And we turned it all over willingly to women and gave them the right to vote, and we let them take charge of society.
Well,
and they're just.
I'm going to address that after you're done, but you bring up a very, very good point. I'm going to talk about that a little bit, but I want to thank you. I want to get to the rest of the topic today, but thank you, Bill. I appreciate you holding on. I wanted to at least get some air time because you held on for so long, and I thank you for that.
Thanks, Reese.
You got it, sir. Okay. The 19th Amendment is just something that I know that it's just a powder keg, and if I can admit anything, I know that one day you and I are gonna have that conversation about the 19th Amendment.
I'm surprised that we stand on on opposite sides. I'm convinced we're on opposte sides.
Okay, then we'll talk about it at another time. I think that we need to.
I don't know.
I think that you and I need
to. No, this is very anti-feminist, right? And I am a feminist. I want to be given the same opportunities that are afforded men. I want to be able to make my own medical decisions. I want to be able to have my own bank account. These are things that women were not allowed to have, right?
Okay. But
the right to vote, I think, it's essential, right? I really think there has to be like an IQ test. I do. I think there has to be an IQ test, and this goes across the spectrum, not just women. You have to be able to at least have a certain IQ. You have to be able to read at a certain proficiency. There should be things in place before you're granted the ability to cast a vote, because your vote
that people
is
cannot
important.
weaponize the vote.
Well, not only that, but I was just thinking too, like when you're giving out voter registration at the DMV, voter registration should really be attached to a social security number given at birth.
Good point.
I don't think it should be activated until one day after the 18th birthday of the individual born in the United States. That's one sure way to do it.
Really great point.
Right? But the other thing is, not everybody should be granted the luxury of voting. There are some people that just lack the intellectual capacity to understand what is being put in front of them. Other people lack the ability to just do basic research. I saw on TikTok that she does this thing, so it's so funny for her. Totally come on. Because they saw her say that the children of the community are the children of the community, and that was deep and profound to these people. There has to be stops in
Purity
place.
test. No, I'm kidding.
There have to be stops in place that prevent just any freaking moron from picking up a pen and voting. It shouldn't be granted to everybody.
I think, okay, I didn't know what your position was on this. It wasn't the direction I want to go on, but since, was it, who was it in Granby? I'm forgetting his name all of a sudden. I guess I have to address it. I get what you're saying, and I can appreciate the point of view that guys like you, White Mike has this. A lot of people are saying.
Doesn't Adam have the same?
I think Adam?
12. Yeah, we were talking about
in fact,
it.
Adam 12 shares it as well. Shares this idea.
And I think it's great that men can have an opinion.
Thanks.
It's great.
But here's what my point is about this, and this is probably, I didn't know that that's how you felt about it, at least having some sort of cognitive test to a degree on the issues. I get it. And I like your idea about associating with the Social Security number.
At birth.
At birth, you're right. And then saying, of course, this is following somebody when they're till they're 18 years old. That is guaranteed when you get a Social Security number. So actually, really, really brilliant idea. But that being said, here's the reason why I stand against the idea of limiting access to voting, even if the person is a complete denuntunut. And the reason why I'm saying that I'm opposed to it is because I believe that it is our job to inspire or at least win hearts and minds when it comes to voting. I know that there are people who are going to vote just based upon the letters behind individuals' names. I cannot control that any more than I can control anyone else who decides to drink and drive, or anyone who decides to take drugs. I don't like that they do. I think it's irresponsible that they do. But there's something about me, not even just the constitutionality of it, but I think just the liberty of individuals to be able to vote is just one of those things that I just don't want to screw around with. But saying that because this person is only going to vote on ideological reasons, because it lends the idea that we as a country have not inspired people to think and to choose in a rational way. I think that in some way I'm imposing my belief system on what I believe other people to be or their intentions.
So let's put it like this. What is the population percentage that actually vote? Of the legal, of age individuals that do vote. I'm not talking about registered voters. How many people actually 18 plus go out and vote?
If we were to look at the last election, I would say, what did we get? 75 to 73 million. So we're looking at 150, maybe 300. 150 to 170 million people vote in this country.
Out of a population of
350.
So that's like 50, let's be generous, 50% of people that are legally able to vote in this country.
Yeah.
50% of them
At
vote.
least, yeah.
Why not make it something that if you really want to do it, you have to put in the effort? If you want a job, you have to put in the effort. If you want a car or a driver's license, you have to put in the effort. Everything that we do in this country used to be and should still be requiring some level of effort. Going down and saying, I'm 18, I'm here to get my state ID and the right to vote. What effort is that? You need a license to go fishing. You need a license to go hunting. You need a license to cut hair. There's effort involved in everything except ensuring the stability and functionality of our nation. Any idiot can
Would
walk
you
in
go
and do
so
it.
far as to put the right to vote on the same level that people will make you jump through hoops to get a gun permit?
Why not?
Okay, so you would put it at that
Why
level
not?
of scrutiny.
Why not? You have to be able to show that you're not mentally unstable. You have to be able to show that there is some level of living stability, right? You have to be able to show that you are intellectually capable of processing certain information. There has to be a certain level of give a crap about my country. Hell, it's so hard to get citizenship once you're here. Why don't we just make it a civics test? You want to vote? You want the right to vote? You got to pass a civics test. Why not?
Not that you're not making a good argument. I don't really have a debate here. I'll be honest with you. I am looking at this as I've always believed that
I think if you receive welfare, you should not be allowed to vote.
I'm sorry, if you what?
If you receive welfare, you should not be allowed to vote.
Oh, I'm not going to tell you. No. I'm a little. I'm 50-50.
If you have to choose between the guy who's $100 or get a job, which guy are you going to vote for?
More than likely, you're going to vote for
always the guy giving you free crap.
Yeah, it's a good. I mean,
you're biased already.
Don't look. Don't get me wrong. I'm really not pushing back on you on that one because you're right. So in essence,
it's an ugly truth. But
no, it is. It is an ugly truth because in essence, that's kind of like when I was talking to Aaron Stewart yesterday, right? Part of the problem with Republicans in the state is that they can't make any inroads in the inner city, which again are the poorest in the state. So Hartford, Bridgeport, New Haven, those areas, Waterbury, wherever it is, those regions, if they do vote, is more than likely going to vote for Santa Claus than they are for the candidate who's going to say, I'm going to give you job opportunities and I'm going to lower your taxes. Those people it doesn't resonate with them. But you're right. If you are on the dole, in essence, you're
biased.
Now, but it's not just because it's on the voter. It is now on the candidate.
Government.
Right, on the candidate themselves. Because now they can't just say, I'm going to give away the farm in order to get your vote.
Exactly.
So I get your point there.
So yeah, I don't think it should be. I don't think that the 19th Amendment itself granting women the right to vote. I think the problem is that we've just given it to everybody carte blanche because you have a driver's license, and that's what we're finding in this country is you get it. You got welfare and a driver's license. Hell, here's the right to vote. I serve my country.
I would, like I
right?
said,
I was a military brat. I was a military wife. I served the military. My kids going in the military. Like I think I have at a minimum earned the right to vote in this country, and I think everybody should be required to sacrifice a little bit more of their time, their mental capacity, freaking employability. Like, these are things that should be a bare minimum to require voting. Now, I will say the only thing that I'm starting to feel like this could compare to is only rich white men who own property. Right, I got it, but that's not the same thing.
No, you're not saying the same thing. Because you believe that, if I'm hearing you right, that there should be a level of equity or sweat equity in that.
You have to earn it.
Yeah, in essence, like you, as a contributing member of society, you should be allowed to vote. But if you are living on the dole, everyone knows which way you're going to vote.
You have to want it enough to earn it.
Yeah, and I know that I can't, as you know, if I'm a Republican candidate, I can talk to you to the, to your ears bleed. You're never going to vote for anything opposed to the dole.
You go raise the EBT limits? Nah.
No.
That dude said he was. I'm going that way.
Yeah. So.
You gonna take away this 2 hours a week that I have to work? No. That dude said he would.
Yeah, it's a no-win situation.
So, yeah.
I know that a lot of people are going to call in about that, but no. I just think, to be honest with you, you are.
I make a lot of sense.
You do. You make a lot of sense. I can't even. I'm listening to it. I'm just going, okay, I hear where she's coming from. Not that it's ever going to happen, because I think that, the horse is out of the gate, right? I think that's where we are. But it is a compelling point of view. Because you're not just saying women, you're saying anybody, for that matter. Just
general.
people. Okay. Please send your comments to. No, I'm kidding. We'll be back. More news, more views, and then we'll wrap this up. And of course, we'll take the final phone calls of the show. Let's get you home. Mark Christopher, he's at the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
Hey, Reese, thank you very much. Well, if you're heading into Hartford, you're on the westbound side of I-84. You're going to see delays now as you move up on the Bulkley Bridge out to 44 Prospect Oakwood, 84 eastbound. You got some slow traffic about just after 44 Prospect Oakwood down to the Bulkley. Southbound 91 delays 33 down to 32 A and B, and again down by exit 28. If you are traveling to westbound, it's a little slow, 1D up to the 84 West merge in East Hartford. Traveling into Middletown, 9 north and southbound slowing at the Aragoni. If you're traveling 9 northbound in Berlin, slows 32 up to exit 34 in New Britain. 84 eastbound's a little tight by the 691 interchange in Cheshire. 95 south in New Haven, you're going to see slow traffic as you move from 46 down to exit 43 in West Haven. And if you are traveling on the northbound side of I-91 by exit 10 in North Haven, look out for an accident just north of the exit on 91 North. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
The clouds and, of course, the rain and drizzle still sticking around for us tonight. A low of 38 degrees. Tomorrow, we're going to be cloudy, breezy, plus the chance of a rain or snow shower early in the morning, then a snow shower in the afternoon. High of 43 degrees. We're dragging in that cold air into tomorrow night, so it's no surprise that tomorrow night is mostly cloudy, breezy, and colder. A low of 19. Friday will keep us breezy, partly sunny, and still chilly with a high of 32. The weekend, we are watching for a storm system to skirt by the coastline, but for right now, the weekend starts off with intervals of clouds and sunshine and a bit of snow or rain showers at times, a high of 39 degrees. We'll watch for some activity Saturday night into Sunday, but then Sunday closes out the weekend, cloudy with a high of 36. Monday, we'll start off the work week, mostly sunny with a high of 35. This is meteorologist Melissa Constanzer in the WTIC Weather Center.
And now, a WTIC news update.
It's 5:30, Hartford temperature 47 degrees. Good afternoon, I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. As you heard, we'll have basically cloudy skies through the rest of this afternoon. And we topped out in the 40s. A Verizon outage impacting millions of customers. Company says it is aware that voice and data service were out for some. Impacted at various locations around the country. Here in Connecticut, the Department of Emergency Services and Public Protection says it's monitoring the situation. says those lacking cell coverage can still make emergency calls by using the SOS feature on their phone. Crime down 40% in New Haven last year. That according to numbers released this afternoon by the acting police chief. David Zanelli says gun violence was also down to its lowest level in a decade. The city logged 16 homicides last year, one more than the year prior. It was Zanelli's first report on crime since he took over the top spot from Carl Jacobson, who submitted his retirement papers last week. This after he was found and admitted to taking money from a police fund within the department. 11-year-old girl whose remains were found in a container at an abandoned home in New Britain had amphetamines in her system. Autopsy report from the medical examiner on Jacqueline Torres Garcia. The ME says Mimi weighed only 27 pounds at the time she died in 2024. Man is facing several charges after Stratford police say he was involved in a fatal hit-and-run crash. Kevin O'Neill is charged. Police say it was January 9th in which O'Neill hit two passengers on South Avenue and fled the scene. One of those pedestrians, that is, died. The other remains hospitalized. And the State Department says it's going to suspend the processing of immigrant visas for citizens of 75 nations whose nationals are deemed likely to require public assistance while living in the U.S. The department says it had instructed consular officers to hold immigrant visa applications from the countries affected in accordance with a broader order issued in November. Markets finished down on Wall Street today. The Dow lost 42 points. NASDAQ lost 1%, and the S&P was down 37. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Men, the new year is here, and if you're like many of us, you're ready to improve your health. But if you're feeling sluggish, low energy, if your sleep is off, or if you're hitting the gym but not seeing real progress, keeping that resolution can be tough. This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health, and if those symptoms sound familiar, we can likely help. They often point to low testosterone, and treating low T is what we do. But this year, we're also helping men go further with targeted body composition plans featuring GH peptides, NAD+, GLP-1, PDA, and more, designed to boost energy, support metabolism, enhance recovery, and accelerate fat loss. With our low T treatments, combined with our body composition programs, most men notice real improvements. More energy, better focus, improved sleep, stronger workouts, and often a renewed sex drive as well. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start treatment the same day, your visit is free. Call 800-930-5956 or visit northeastmenshealth.com.
Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner.
Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
The Odyssey app lets you jump back to the moments you missed from WTIC News Talk 1080. Download the free Odyssey app, search WTIC News Talk 1080, and tap earlier today to get started.
We're back. Reese on the radio, Roseanne on the radio. Pretty much getting ready to wrap things up. We'll get another check of traffic and weather in another 3 minutes. Roseanne, so a lot of people are agreeing with you in the chat room.
Wow.
And what are you wowing about?
My opinion is not usually popular.
When have you ever really given your opinion on a forum like this?
That is a valid point. Valid point, sir.
Well, I think it's thought out. I mean, when you stump me, and I don't think you and I are having a disagreement in a sense of I have a point of view on this, you have a point of view, and I can listen to your point of view and kind of say, yeah, I can't really argue with that. Even though I want people to have the constitutional right to vote, I can't make an argument against how you lay it out, saying that it is an important thing that we have a right to do, but it cannot be made available to people who, in
Willy-nilly.
essence, well, in the sense of cannot be swayed. The objective of voting is that the candidate must present a plan or an idea that's supposed to encourage you to vote. But if it's literally just saying that the masses are going to go with the guy who gives you the freest of stuff, then that's not really a fight. That's not really an exchange of ideas or a competitive sense of ideas.
Isn't it illegal to buy votes?
It technically is, but if you are running a platform that says we are going to make the, as you've heard, we're going to make the rich pay their fair share, which, by the way, brilliant on Donald Trump for co-opting that. Co-opting that phrase when he's talking about foreigners. He won't stop saying it. In fact, it's gotten to the bad where you don't even hear Elizabeth Warren or Bernie Sanders using it anymore. But
He's got to use the word oligarchy now.
Yeah. But I can't debate with you on this because you're 100% right. If we're looking at politics in the here and now, if we know that we have a politics that is creating more and more of a gap between the have and have-nots, which is the essential to us as a country right now. That's the divide.
Right.
I know that sure. Are there racial divides? Certainly there are. Are there societal divides? Yes, of course there are. But the one divide that everyone identifies with, it's the wealth gap, and that one really, really ruminates.
I don't know that everybody can agree with that one. I firmly believe that you are entitled to what you have earned.
Yeah, no, I agree there. But I'm just saying that wealth gap is a lot of things that sort of motivates that voting base, so to speak.
Right.
And people know it. They can make...
With the boy and his lot.
Exactly.
Right? Billionaires shouldn't exist. Why not?
Yeah,
what's wrong with the billionaire? Oh, well, slave labor. Have an idea and then sell it.
Yeah, exactly. Let's get another check of the weather and traffic. I know you're on the roads, and Mark Christopher is getting you home. He's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Hey,
Reese, thank you very much. Well, if you're heading into Hartford right now, overall, a pretty decent ride. You're seeing delays on the westbound side of I-84 as you move up on on the Bulkley Bridge out to exit 44, Prospect Oakwood 84 eastbound, slowing a half mile before 46th Avenue into the tunnel. 91 southbound delays 33 down to 32A and B, and again down by exit 28. 2 westbounds just a little slow as you merge with 84 west in East Hartford. 9 southbound losing some speed in Middletown at the Arrowcounty Bridge. 84 westbound slowing at the Mixmaster. If you are traveling on the northbound side of I-91, look out for an accident northbound 91 just after exit 10 in North Haven, slowing you down a little bit there. 95 southbound delays 46 down to 43. New Haven into West Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Most of the showers have been lifting north out of our area, but there's still the chance for some more rain and drizzle as we head through tonight, a low of 40 degrees. Tomorrow, sun and clouds mixed together. It's also a little breezy as we could see a rain or snow shower passing through, not just in the morning, but then a snow shower possible as well in the afternoon, a high of 43 degrees. It'll be trending a lot colder into tomorrow night, where we're mostly cloudy and breezy, a low of just 19. Friday, we're partly sunny, breezy, and staying cold with a high of 32. Saturday, sun and clouds and a bit of rain and snow at times, a high near 39. Sunday, we'll close out our weekend cloudy and dry with a high of 36. One thing we're watching for Sunday night is a storm system that is likely to stay off the coast. That's the AccuWeather forecast. If that track should shift, though, we will let you know. Overall, though, we should say dry into Monday, which is mostly sunny with a high of 35. Right now, it's 48 in Hopewell, 45 in Avon, and 45 in Hartford. I'm meteorologist Melissa Constanzer in the WTIC Weather Center.
Join us this Sunday for Tumalo Financial, your go-to for retirement planning and taxes. Tune in to the father-son duo from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. or catch replay from 5 to 6 p.m. Tumalo Financial, retirement planning with integrity on WTIC News Talk 1080.
We know that you want the best for your child. That's why you can trust our expert pediatric dentists here at Columbia Dental, who are trained to meet and handle your child's unique dental needs. Call Columbia Dental at 860-645-0111.
Hair Volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. Available as a tablet or delicious gummy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and at newnordicusa.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
Coverage varies by plan, view contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com. Auto repair bills are through the roof. $3,000 to replace the transmission, $4,000 for a blown engine. And if your manufacturer's warranty is expired, you'll have to cover it all out of pocket. You need an Endurance Auto Protection Plan. No matter what the mileage, if your car is under 20 years old, Endurance can get you covered on the engine, electrical system, transmission, AC, drivetrain, and more. Endurance has plans for any budget. Repairs can be done at the certified mechanic of your choice, and they're paid directly with no middleman. Plans cover 24/7 roadside assistance, towing, battery jumps, fuel deliveries, tire changes, lockout services, and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Act now and get our elite benefits, including complete tire care and key fob replacement. A $2,000 value at no extra cost. With Endurance, you could never pay for covered auto repairs again, so call now for your free quote. Call 800-253-6203. 800-253-6203. 800-253-6203. Attention, have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-207-4545. That's 800-207-4545. Once again, that's 800-207-4545.
What's up, everybody? You know who it is.
You know who it is.
You know who it is. It's Reese on the Radio. Frederick Douglass of the 21st century.
It's WTIC News Talk 1080.
All right, we are live. Getting ready to get up out of here. We'll get to your phone calls real quick. I see your brother is in the chat room there. He is back. Craig said, did the weather woman just say Avon? Yes, she did. I heard that. I said, you guys would never let me get away with that. So, yes, I did hear that, and you did hear it, too.
Oh, I can check my hair now.
Oh, look at you. Ugh, so vain. Like I said, a lot of people agreeing with you in the chat room. Speaking of which, let's get to some phone calls and get through them. Dave is in Brantford. How are you, Dave?
Yeah, I do all right. Look, it's hard to get through. I think I want to rephrase what Roseanne said. I think she thinks we need a better quality of electorate, and everyone is so consumed with the better quality for the candidates. And so one by one, I may disagree with her point, but the larger part is we need a more alert, engaged electorate that does, is more interested in individualism and not so much Me Too-ism.
What do you say? What do you say to the idea that there is a degree of a divide with people who are voting for the gimmies as opposed to people who are voting for the policies of the candidate?
I think, Reese, when you have a voter sign-up drive and you're giving away free diapers for adults and sanitary products for the women, is that bribing a vote?
Yeah.
When you're trying to select a slice of who shows up to sign up.
Yeah.
And it absolutely is, but we don't have a Secretary of State who says that's like an illegal contribution to get a selected portion of the electorate. And so I come down on, we talked about the 19th Amendment, which was kind of a joke. I think the 21st Amendment, which lowered the voting age to 18, the original Constitution had it at 21, and I think that's a much more appropriate age to get all this socialism, petri dish out of the university stuff. Those people are just insane.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Listen, a couple things, if I haven't.
Yeah,
the
go.
Aaron Stewart interview. You have so many topics. The audience never really gets to comment on them. I thought Aaron Stewart and you did a very good job in presenting her as an earthy, plain-spoken candidate that I greatly enjoyed. I am more like a Rob Sampson, a hard-bitten right-winger.
Yeah, sure.
However, I am more interested in electing a Republican to get rid of the one-party state.
Right.
It's the biggest problem with Connecticut. And so Aaron Stewart is acceptable to me, and I think Fazio would be an excellent lieutenant governor with, as the callers discussed, has connections to the legislation. We don't need somebody divorced and indifferent to how the people that are up there. And I think Betsy McCoy, I continue to think, because of her theoretical ideas, would be a great Secretary of State, to influence the election laws, the marriage laws, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
A little bit, I want to say, you don't like the best of the year that we just finished. I thought your single best hour was when Fred McKinney, the black radical professor from Quinnipiac, who wrote a ridiculous editorial, and you invited him onto the show, and he took the bait, and you reeled him in like you were fishing. And he got madder and madder and madder, and it culminated in his calling you the N-word. You said three times. That was a really exciting interview. That unfortunately, you don't rerun your stuff. That was like my favorite show of last year. And one more thing, maybe a little information on where is our buddy Tom Feinberg, Todd Feinberg, how is he alive and well, stuff like that.
I will, I will soon, as soon as I can find out, I will let everybody know how he's doing, because I know people still ask. I get it all the time.
One more quick thing. We spent a lot of time on the environmental concerns of the DQuat and the hydrilla problem.
Not over.
The science. And I would think at this point, a good story on who moved the chemical over to the Aquathol. And I know you had the story about the box of it that fell off the boat.
That's
in
right.
The water, to say, oh, my God, there's morons applying this stuff. And something that might be important, what was the result? Did they actually get rid of the hydrilla in that cove off the Connecticut River?
That is
was it a failure?
That is a great question. In fact, that is a follow-up that we're going to do this spring to find out what the conditions of that cove, the Selden Cove, is since they put the Aquathol there. So, yeah, thank you. Both of those stories we had definitely not let up on yet.
I'm all done. Voting age back to 21.
That's you got it, Dave. Thank you. Let's go to another Dave in Windsor on hold. How are you, sir?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm all right, sir. What do you got?
Hey, listen, don't ask me to die for my country when I got drafted at 19 back in 1969 and not be able to vote.
Okay. It's not. I think he's saying when it changed to 18 so that it could accommodate liberalism through the college ranks. I don't think, of course, if you're in the military, I would totally make an exception for somebody who...
I think I agree that if you have enlisted, if you've been drafted, if you are in the military 18 and up, you have more than earned the right to have a voice in this country.
Indeed.
Absolutely.
And I'll tell you what, you talk about serving to be able to vote, not necessarily vote, but be involved.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right, to have a say.
Well,
I think that you have got more skin in the game than most.
All right. Well, I agree with Jesse Ventura. Look at Trump. Not only that, his kids didn't serve. And from many phone calls, I'm not a guy, fan of that guy, never have been, never will be, and it goes back to the 80s. Got nothing to do with him.
Would Kamala have been a better choice?
Yeah, in my opinion, yes. Look at the state.
No. Come on, Dave. You can't. I want to trust you on this one.
The children of the community are the children.
I want to trust you. I want to trust that you're being honest here. Kamala Harris is a better choice than Donald Trump, even though Donald Trump had served in that office.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
I think we'd be.
That's another Obama puppet.
We can agree to disagree.
No, and did you hear me? I'm not casting any aspersions on it. I asked you really and plainly, are you serious? Do you really believe that she would be a better candidate than Donald Trump? Okay.
I do. I'm sorry again. I'm never a MAGA.
That's okay.
Things that have gone on, the things that I've seen, I've been around a long time. Like I said, way back.
Well, Dave, when you can...
Drafted in 69.
Dave, when you can, listen to me real quick. When you can call earlier in the show, I want to spend a little time with you to sort of break down that comparison between the two if you can. Because I'd love to have that conversation with you.
I'd be happy to. Now, listen, I caught earlier the Aaron Stewart interview
yesterday.
And I'd like to ask. I'd like to have you ask her next time she's on. Everybody's bringing up this lower energy, lower electricity, and I couldn't agree more. But I could tell you, as I mentioned before, this goes back to the late 90s when Roland was in power, when Roland was the governor, and they went to privatize the electric industry. And that is the bane of our problems right now, and it will be. And until somebody can figure out.
So you want a federal? Do you want a state ownership of the utilities?
I said if you look at Norwich Utility, if you look at Holyoke, you look at the public utilities, just like there used to be the public utilities, not arbitrage electricity, not privatizing this, where they promised everybody electric rates were going to go down into just the opposite. I knew that was never going to happen. Back in the day of when there were they're named public utilities for a reason, because it benefits the public. There's no profit in it.
But today, that isn't. If you really think at where Eversource is right now, you're talking about the privatization of a utility. It isn't private if we have a public benefits charge that goes to the coffers of government. So it's kind of a private-public hybrid in that case, and that's why we have the higher rates, which is fair to say, right?
Well, no, it's the transmission rates, it's everything else.
No, I don't have an argument. No, you're right about the transmission rates. All of those, they seem like ridiculous rates. But what is the public benefits charge for, and who does it go to? That is that's because if it were government run, and if it would be, imagine how much that benefits charge would be.
It wasn't government run before when it was a public utility. It wasn't government run. It was a non-profit. Utilities ran. They were regulated. You got your per kilowatt hour charge, and that was it. And utilities had their crews. I mean, it was a well-run system. There was no reason to change it. In every state that has public utilities, their electricity rates are way cheaper than what they are in states that are privately run.
I will check. You know what? I'll check those numbers, and you know what? If indeed is true, then I will back it. I will back it, but I'm gonna look it up, because in that case, if we're comparing the two, I can kind of agree with the privatization of it. But if I'm wrong on that, I'm willing to cede that ground.
I'll give you one quick look at it. Just look at it this way. Just Google the electricity rates for Norwich Utility, which is still a public utility.
That may be a population difference, though.
No, it's not. It's a public
No,
utility.
I just said it may be. And you're talking about Norwich, the town, right?
I'm talking about Norwich Public Utilities, who serves many towns. Look up the Chicopee Public Utilities, and then look up Eversource.
But they don't serve. Okay, but they don't serve the magnitude of energy to the region.
That has nothing to do with it.
Well, it always plays a role in what it costs. That always plays a role in it.
Unless we're only talking specifically about this one locality.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about the difference between a public utility, just like we have.
Right. But scale matters, Dave. Scale does matter. Scale is important, right?
It was scale before.
No. Scale meaning what I'm talking about is what Eversource serves versus what Norwich serves, right? That scale does matter.
Not
okay.
In the case of how the electricity is generated and how it's distributed.
I understand
that doesn't play a part in it. I'm just saying, go back and look at what it was prior to privatization of these utilities compared to public utilities.
I'm granting you that. And like I said, I'll cede that ground. If indeed the research bears out, I'll be happy to cede that and say Dave was 100% right on that front.
But you're not going to be able to go back to those types
you'll
of
be
rates.
stunned. You'll be stunned at what I don't know if we'll be able to go back to the rates. I'm just talking about just finding out whether or not indeed your thesis is true. So I will look into it.
Okay, please
All
do.
right, I will. Thank you, sir. Let me get to Christine in Middletown. Where the heck is there? It is. How are we doing?
Hi, good evening, everyone. Roseanne, you inspired me when you had a picture of someone from the Metropolitan Community Church at these never-ending ICE protests.
Well, now, Christine, you know that person is a member of that church. I was there, and that individual was there. The day that I was there to speak to Aaron Miller, that individual was there. That's how I recognized her.
Well, there's a new development because I watched a sermon on Facebook. After all, I'm not allowed into church, so. Mm-hmm. And then Pastor Miller did the sermon. At the very end, he called Renee Good a prophet. This is a person. Yes, it's up there on Facebook, Reese.
A prophet of
absurd.
what?
I don't
know, but but this is so inappropriate, though. This is a person who's an agitator, who is antagonizing and interfering with ICE and law enforcement. We can't be glorifying this.
Yeah,
and this is a pastor of a church that does it.
You know what? And it's so funny because Aaron Miller is supposed to be operating a church. It's not a church. It's an activist.
It's another day school in Minnesota.
Yeah. What did you say? It's like a what?
It's another daycare in Minnesota.
It seems like just an it's kind of insane. I will go look it up, Christine. And by the way, you were saying you were inspired by Roseanne posting a picture of the member. What do you mean you were inspired?
Well, because it said I haven't paid attention to MCC, so I just want to see what they're doing with their things. So I know they are a social justice center.
Yeah.
But this, I have to bring light to this. This is something that people need to know. This is not acceptable.
Yeah, whatever is going on in that church, it's not legal. That much I know. Whatever the case is, Christine, I gotta take a break. But thank you so much. Okay.
Take it easy.
You got it.
Nice
you too. I got to go. What did you want to say real quick?
I just was thinking about the study that you and I read, or the gentleman that we heard saying that once a nation allows sexual depravity to run rampant in the nation falls.
It's got 30
there's
years.
Two things that are prevalent in the fall of a nation. One is sexual depravity. The other one is unchecked immigration. Look at Rome.
Yeah, interesting. All right, folks, that's our show. We will see you tomorrow. As I always say, radio is free, so we thank you for paying attention. Remember to keep JC in your hearts and in your mind. Sean Patrick, we love you and we miss you. Remember that panic is not planning, so plan your work and work your plan. Me, I'm Reese on the radio. She is Roseanne on the radio. Say goodnight, Roseanne.
Good night, Roseanne.
We will see you tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. And getting you home is our good friend, Mark Christopher. He's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Good night, Mark.
Guys, have a great night. If you are heading into Hartford on the westbound side of 84, a little tight approaching the Bulkley Bridge of 46.